Oh.
But I think I've explained it multiple times on the live stream why no, it's B-plot is weak sauce in season 1, but in season 2 it would work so much better.
Valid. So far, only Dark Xana is here.
Well, Dark Xana's always here first.
Well, yeah. Oh man,
Wow.
it's him.
Damn, a minute late. Just like he always
As
is.
usual.
Huh. My God. Since when do we have a late command?
Oh, you mean we will only be late over Dylan's dead body? That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had it since like season 2.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Wow.
we've had it for a while, man.
Oh man.
A really long
and here
while.
I thought it was a new thing, but guess I was wrong.
No, it's been here a while, bro.
It just doesn't get used a lot.
Maybe I forgot because of a glitch in the Return to the Past. So.
You sure you didn't remember because of a glitch in the Return to the Past?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sibling here. Today, I made Minecraft instead of Minecraft. That's an Atari 64.
Nice.
Oh shit, we're live, okay.
Try to explain to me why I'm wrong that Zero Gravity's B-plot is stupid. I dare you.
Well, not again, please.
Not again, please.
No, this one's on the Reddit. This one's on the Reddit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's
Yeah,
even worse.
please.
Like, it's it's a good episode, but yeah,
It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad episode.
I know it fits
I
better in
did
season
say
2.
I did say it was the stupidest episode. Stupid does not equate to being bad.
No, it's a good episode, but I agree it would work better in season 2. You made yourself pretty clear.
People just don't understand.
We
People just
How
don't
dare.
understand. It's a legitimate emotional struggle when you can't just wave a magic wand to fix it. But in season 1, it's literally just a magic wand they can wave to fix it. Hello, Flower. Welcome.
Man, I feel like it's been more than a week since I've talked to y'all.
It has been, Cam.
It does.
Actually,
No,
it hasn't. Oh, gosh.
It feels like it's been a while,
I
though.
still can't believe I took the fucking day off and he never showed up.
But no, what's it? In regards to this episode, it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a really fun time.
I did hit enter on the rewatch announcement. I just remember that. I was about to say, wait, did I hit enter on that?
You did.
I did.
Yes, you did.
I remember.
Welcome, Dark Xana. Welcome, Kara Lover 1, and welcome, Jack.
I think
Hunger
Jack is
Games.
new. I don't remember seeing Jack here.
Jack's been in
Twitch,
the Discord.
but yeah, the Discord.
He's new to Twitch though, or at least
Yeah.
new to the
Welcome to Twitch,
rewatch.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
new to the rewatch. He's not even follow. Oh, account created 2 minutes ago. Welcome to Twitch.
Wow.
Or at least welcome to having an account on Twitch.
We're on episode 20. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes,
Espionage.
Oh, greedy.
And thank you for the follow, Jack.
Are you just gonna keep guilting people into following us if they join?
Welcome, Nightmare.
Yes. It's the only way you get follows if you make people feel guilty for not following.
What a dill pickle.
We've talked about the
Ooh, that's
Subdigital's
Fun
album
idea,
before.
Chara.
Do we
Still, but,
want
like
to?
listening and reviewing would be fun.
You know what?
I want to.
Well, which version though? The English or the French?
Oh yeah.
Because
Both.
like you can
We'll listen to
to
both at the exact same time.
No.
Oh,
I mean, the only difference would be the lyrics. One said the lyrics would be in French, one said the lyrics.
I've always thought the French versions were slightly better than the English for some reason. Maybe it's just because they actually were able to
Maybe it's
get
the anime plot twist. No. Ignore me.
Then again, I haven't really listened to the subdigitals in French all that much. I've listened to the English a bunch. I've listened to
I've
World
never-
Without Danger in both English and French many times.
Oh, yeah. I think the only song I've heard in French is Breakaway out of that whole album.
The English translation
Yeah,
of the
that
French
and the
lyrics
World
to A
Without
World Without Danger are way better.
Mhm.
By what definition?
Just like here. Well, actually, we'll go over that in the after show. We should probably start
Yeah.
the episode.
Probably should.
yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Winga.
Deserve a clap for that.
So you know what I love? I love when I order a large fry and a medium fry, and they both just have the same amount of fries in them. Like the medium fry is overstuffed, and then the large fry is understuffed. So there's just the same amount of fries. Like, why am I even ordering the large?
Xena a baissé en puissance. Ça veut laisser du temps à Elita pour retrouver sa mère.
Je vais tout faire pour la retrouver.
J'ai trouvé le moyen de pirater le système de surveillance vidéo du labo de Tyrone.
C'est ta mère?
Oui,
Depuis combien de temps sa photo circule sur le net?
je l'ai posté il y a un mois.
Écoute, il y a des milliers d'avis de recherche postés sur internet chaque jour. Ça va du
Oh,
temps
look,
perdu
it's
à
this
des cas
plot.
plus sérieux comme toi.
Wait, it's been a month
Les gens
since
se
she
intéressent
posted
pendant
it?
une heure, un jour, une semaine avec de la
Sure,
chance,
Evolution.
et ils passent à autre chose. Je suis désolée, on se connaît pas. T'as l'air sympa, mais tu me demandes mon avis, alors je te le donne. Trouve un autre moyen de chercher ta mère. Sur le net, il te faudrait un miracle.
Reality and
I mean, let's ignore the fact that her
You
mother
mean
is
looking
working
for
for a
someone
top
wanted by the
secret.
government on Facebook doesn't work?
Yeah, that too.
Elita, c'est Jérémy. Donne à tout le monde rendez-vous dans ma chambre. J'ai un truc à vous annoncer.
I've come to make an announcement.
Is Laura there?
On est
Can't
tous
leave
là.
Laura
Alors,
out.
Alors j'ai trouvé le moyen de
You're probably
pirater le
leaving
système de
Laura out.
surveillance vidéo du labo de Tyrone. Sérieux?
they
Yeah.
can absolutely
On va enfin pouvoir les
Laura
suivre.
out.
Et anticiper ce qu'il va faire. Et tu crois que, enfin, pour ma mère, je pourrais la revoir?
J'y ai pensé, ouais. Avec mon programme, on pourra non seulement infiltrer les caméras du labo,
Excuse you.
mais en plus, si ta mère réapparaît,
Là où l'image passe,
Oh,
on s'en
né.
peut passer.
Banned.
Exactement.
Banned.
tu pourras lui parler, lui dire que t'es vivant. Et
Banned.
surtout, ça sera l'occasion de découvrir ce qu'elle fait là-bas. Ce qu'elle sait des plans de Tyrone. Elle pourra nous aider, on sait jamais.
C'est
Have
génial.
you tried
Merci,
ping?
Jérémy. Je voudrais juste que Laura soit au courant de cette
Look,
mission.
Dark Xana.
C'est personnel.
Pas de problème.
At least not
Vu qu'il y a
trying to
plus
look
de place
up
dans le
that
Gapa,
kind of
je
stuff
propose
about her
que l'un
mother.
d'entre nous
It's
reste
just
ici pour garder
weird
un œil
because
sur
the
Laura.
month gap is like
les gars.
in between
Comprends
two
pas.
episodes back to back.
Yeah.
They don't normally have jumps that big between
mean,
episodes.
The original show just kind of jumped all over the fucking place in season 1, but let's ignore that.
I mean, they did do a 1 year jump once in the original series.
They didn't do a jump in between 2 episodes where one episode is in this time and the next episode's literally a year later.
Also, that was like a 6-month, or no, that was like a 3-month jump. That was summer vacation, not.
No, that was a 2-week jump. You're thinking of the season 2 finale to the first episode of season 3. That was only 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, not a whole month. And that made a little more sense because that was a season. I'd forgive it if it was like in between seasons, but it's not. It's in between 2 episodes in the middle of the season.
Well, okay, to be fair, this was after the hiatus. To be fair.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, it's a minor nitpick, really.
No, I agree. It is dumb, but yeah.
Like, if that was the only problem Evolution had, I probably wouldn't be like, that's weird, but okay. But it's not.
Alerte. Intrusion dans la salle cœur. Virtualisation immédiate.
Jérémy, on a Tyrone en visuel. Je crois qu'il appelle ses ninjas.
Ouais, let's go.
Quoi? Mais c'est pas possible. Tout fonctionne de mon côté.
De notre côté, je peux t'assurer que ça fonctionne pas du tout.
Yeah.
Ouais, mais pourquoi?
Wait, where's William? Do you just not want to tag along?
Watching over Laura. She just tried to do a Kamehameha.
Tyrone a repéré notre présence grâce à un nouveau système qui
Actually, that's
vient
probably
d'installer.
likely scenario.
Et il
He's
sait pas encore
watching
qu'on a
Laura.
piraté sa vidéo. Je répète, il ne sait pas qu'on a piraté sa vidéo. Si je récupère le signal, on aura réussi. Tenez bon.
T'es vite, Jérémy.
Dang, Alita, just stab that guy with a energy field.
Une toute petite minute et je suis bon.
Could that be considered stabbing?
Yeah.
It's a sink and she threw that ball.
My man Odd nerfed. Okay, that's expected, Yumi.
Yeah.
They look so disappointed in themselves.
40 secondes.
Yes.
Come on, Ulrich, use your Chad powers.
Oh dang, Alita, I swore Alita just cut.
You know, with only 2 of you here, it would be a good time to use triplicate. Oh, never mind.
What is this?
What?
Okay.
Oh yeah, she decides to go all Splinter Cell now.
Encore quelques secondes et... Non.
So stupid.
Non. Il se passe quoi? Ça vient de se déconnecter.
Okay, that's BS because Tyrone should have a holo map. Like, I mean, he can detect them in the cortex. He can detect Xana's monsters. He should know that she's at least still there. This doesn't.
Jérémy, l'écran est toujours connecté.
Je sais, Ethan, mais le signal n'est pas arrivé jusqu'à nous. Je suis vraiment désolé, ça a raté. Bon, je te ramène.
Like, maybe not where,
Si je restais ici
but
dans le noyau pour surveiller l'écran. Tu as dit que Tyrone n'avait pas remarqué le piratage de son système vidéo. Et il croit nous avoir tous éliminés. Alors je suis tranquille.
Oui, mais il faut des jours avant que ta mère ne réapparaisse. Et encore si elle réapparaît.
Alita, c'est idiot, rentre. On recommencera et mieux préparé cette fois.
On dit toujours ça. Mais regardez aujourd'hui. Notre présence a été détectée par un nouveau système de sécurité. La prochaine fois, qu'est-ce que ce sera? Je veux rester si
Do you
tu veux
think
que
that
je
hallway
saisir.
leads to the
J'en ai rien à
supercomputer?
faire d'attendre des jours et des jours.
Il y a aussi le
Nah.
problème du collège.
C'est vrai, Ulrich a raison. On a cours dans 3 heures et tu peux pas
Then
disparaître
where's
comme
the
ça sans explication.
supercomputer in Tyrone's
Sauf
lab?
si Jérémy crée un double
Somewhere.
numérique.
Quoi? Mais Lita, je peux pas créer en quelques heures
Below
un truc qui
his
fasse
lab.
illusion. En plus, c'est le cours de gym. Non, ça va se voir tout de suite.
C'est peut-être ma dernière chance de revoir ma mère. Je t'en prie, Jérémy.
I don't know. Jim is the most observant of people.
Nice one.
And when it comes to the gang, they do it all the time. So
Odd doesn't have abilities. His ability is just being cool, I guess.
is this a clone?
Alors,
Yes.
ce double comporte quelques défauts. Le plus important étant qu'elle parle pas.
At least they brought that back.
Really?
Vous allez faire.
What happened to clones being able to
Il faut au moins 2 jours pour faire un double. Et là, j'ai eu 2 heures.
You probably did a
Si quelqu'un
5-minute
ressemble à
clone.
Anita, elle aurait pu
It
avoir, je sais
takes
pas,
2
moi,
days.
des tentacules
I
sur la
call
tête.
hogwash.
Ok, c'est bon, te vexes pas. On va faire avec.
I don't even want to speak.
Have a cow. That was dated even in
J'ai pas envie d'aller plus tard à
2012.
la cantine, sinon il y aura plus de dessert.
Hey, calme-toi. T'as vu comment tu lui parles?
This feels so
Non,
stupid.
non, c'est qu'un double numérique.
Oh no.
This is terrible.
All of William Clone's energy
William's
got put
just
into
smarter.
this one episode.
I wonder if the actress had fun with this.
This is uncomfortable. Fuck.
Why don't they just sit her in her room and have the day of her being sick? Come on.
Maman, si tu savais comme je suis heureuse de savoir que tu es vivante.
Because then they would need someone to be Yolanda, and we can't have that.
Here's
And-
Evolution's version of Beautiful World.
Yep.
It's not
I actually
bad.
like it.
It's not
Tyrone
bad.
is
It's
like
definitely not as
super
iconic,
paranoid.
but
C'est moi. Comment ça se passe?
Ça va, c'est juste que...
Quoi? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Jérémy, c'est très bizarre.
Oh,
Rigole
come
pas.
on!
J'ai comme
You
des
could have
crampes.
done an amazing callback
T'inquiète,
to
Maman.
them video
C'est comme
chatting
une
while
fois
she
dans
was
le
virtual,
podcast,
but no,
Ça crée une
you don't
persistance.
do
I
a
actually
really
thought
cool
this was
thing.
cool. I actually thought this was cool. That
I'm not
Jeremy.
saying it isn't cool. I think it's just come on. You could have done. You could have done a callback to the original season, and you just don't. What's wrong with you?
Rien. C'est terrible. Plus le temps passe, et
How
plus j'imagine
exactly
la
is he
possibilité de jamais revoir
calling
ma mère.
her from his phone?
Yeah, I'm totally buy that Jeremy can do that.
yeah, that's not as far-fetched. Like,
It's definitely not far fetched. I just think they had an opportunity to do a callback, and they just chose not to.
You don't need to do callbacks all the time. They're nice, but I don't think this needed to be a callback.
they're not necessary.
I mean, it's expected.
Aelita,
I mean, you will.
je vois que tu ne prends pas de notes.
You're not
Bien.
taking notes.
C'est que tu dois connaître la leçon par cœur. Au tableau.
Look at Laura's looking smug. Laura's
Oh, I'm not gonna look. This is too much cringe for me.
Je peux l'emmener à l'infirmerie si vous voulez.
Oui, oui, emmenez-le vite.
We just joked about this. Oops.
Come on, Lena, I can't carry him on my own. Yes. Oh, beautiful.
Okay, the cringe scene is out now. I can watch now.
Maman, maman, c'est moi, Aelita.
Ma chérie,
Maman.
écoute mon amour. On ne se reverra plus jamais. Il faut que tu le comprennes.
But you're seeing each other right now.
I think that's a dream.
C'est clair maintenant? Je ne veux plus te voir.
Yep.
That's rough.
It's rough, Bunny.
Interesting
You
that
can't
she can...
sleep on.
You can't sleep on Lyoko, but this isn't technically Lyoko. So I can't tell if it's an oversight.
Being virtualized anywhere.
I call it BS.
Can't sleep.
I can see it.
I think this.
I'll admit, Laura's having way too much fun here.
This seems actually pretty great.
Mais c'est ça, t'as raison, snap-moi. Eh, vas-y, c'est super drôle. Puis dis rien sur toi.
So lame. How has she not figured it
Ton
out?
tour de garde. Faut jamais la laisser seule.
I think
Okay.
it's just
No
one of those
idea.
things, you know?
William.
Je sais pas, mais il faut faire semblant de lui parler.
At least.
I'll babysit the zombie.
I'd say she wouldn't assume that they can create specters, but then again, Laura is written to know a lot, so it's weird.
I mean, that's probably something she didn't see as interesting, so she just passed on it.
Actually, didn't Aelita have dreams on Lyoko in the original season?
Yeah, she did.
Yes, he did. Well, okay. Wait, you telling me Tyrone finally sensed her?
No.
After all these
No.
hours? Ah, just built in.
Le scanner a réagi comme s'il y avait une intrusion. Allez jeter un coup d'œil.
Now? After all this time? Now?
Xana might
Yes.
be like
Yes.
deliberately screwing with his sensors to try and hide his own presence there.
Une erreur.
I could believe that, but it's not written in. Is the
Yes, I
issue.
know.
Well, that didn't last
She would've
long.
noticed.
They're done. Look, he's done looking.
God, he's such
Like-
an idiot. I
like-
hate him.
Like coming in late is one thing, but taking a second to take a peek is just stupid. It's a waste of time.
C'est le cours de
Going
gym,
through
on
all the
avait dit que-
trouble to send someone over there.
Après ce cours, la journée est finie.
Ninja was already
Also,
there.
that-
Toute la nuit.
Hold on, inconsistency. They said their first class was gym, but they went to science, and now
they
it's
have
like they're going to
gym
gym.
class.
You can't have inconsistencies in an episode you wrote. Like,
Oh, the school has
was the first
inconsistent
draft.
schedules.
T'as bien mangé à midi? Tu vas nous faire la démonstration.
I'm surprised Jeremy just didn't like have a backup program to clone you to the Warriors. Like,
Je vois que Clara quitte le navire, merci.
really? Do you just? It makes sense.
Stone, on te regarde.
As terrible as it would be.
Pas mal.
Oh god.
Alors ça.
There it is.
Aelita, réveille-toi.
C'est foudroyant.
Just wait.
J'ai eu la même chose.
Aelita dies.
Et apparemment, c'est hyper contagieux.
Oh,
Like
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
funny, very funny. Mucho finesso.
Oh. It's so bad, but so good.
The original show would have done so much more with this joke, honestly.
Be glad this hasn't been made today.
You can't virtualize them on Lyoko. What is this? See, they could have done like something really cool, like having Xana, just a Xana Spectre just waiting at the other end of the hall when they turn the corner. But no.
Tiens, la voilà ton
Mutant writing and evolution?
Dylan, that's an interesting writing point. They cannot do that.
Well, nah, they can make interesting points, they just can't deliver on them. Imagine if someone was standing there, like, what?
Encore un coup comme ça, à l'école ou envoyé chez un psy.
Déjà, je te dis même pas la réputation que Tariq, tu vas voir.
C'est pas grave, je comprends. Je vous remercie d'avoir tenu aussi longtemps.
Bon, t'as toute la nuit comme prévu. Mais demain, tu dois être là au premier cours. Ok?
Oui, je te le promets, Jérémy.
Then it just leaves them alone for all of this, and why?
Xana wants to see his mom again too, so he's like, nah, I want to see where this is
I
going.
can see that.
That's the only logical reason.
Xana's not
right
that kind of
now would
guy.
be almost the perfect time to attack because Aelita's on the Cortex.
All right.
Jeremy, Odd, and Yumi.
Let's watch.
Aelita. Aelita,
Jérémy, tu dors pas?
j'arrive pas. Je voulais savoir.
Feels.
Ça fait longtemps que t'es séparé de ta mère. J'imagine que tu cesses pas d'y penser.
Oui, bien sûr. En fait,
She didn't, at least as far as canon goes, she didn't make Xana, but I'm mostly just joking.
c'est bizarre, hein?
Non, je crois que je comprends. J'espère vraiment que tu vas pouvoir lui parler. Ouais. Je me disais... Tu m'en voudras si tu n'y arrives pas?
Non. Pourquoi tu dis ça?
Je me dis que j'aurais pu faire plus. J'aurais pu créer un deuxième tome numérique.
Wait, why is Jeremy the one with anxiety?
Tu as fait le maximum. Je n'oublierai jamais tout ce que tu as fait pour moi depuis toutes ces
What do you
années.
think motivates him to work so hard on all the programs? His crushing fear
Simp.
that he does. Well, there's that. But
Tu m'appelles s'il y a un
The
problème.
power of the simp.
J'ai mis une sonnerie hyper forte qui me réveillera coquille.
Power of the simp. Power of the simp.
Merci,
Power of
Jérémy.
the simp. The
There's the
power
IGN
of
to the
the
P.
simp.
All for the
Yeah.
Why exactly did he put his glasses on to make a phone call?
look at his phone.
It's actually kind of funny.
The right number.
It's actually a pretty good render, not gonna lie. Still, it's terrible.
Jérémy, viens vite. Ma mère est là. Je la vois, elle est là. Dans le labo de Tyrone. T'entends?
J'arrive.
Ah yes, that lovely early morning, midday glow.
I like that he said he's on his way immediately and he took his sweet ass time to get dressed.
Doesn't take that long to put on a shirt and pants.
Dis-moi l'étage, je suis connecté.
I don't know what genes you have, but for me it takes a damn long time.
Ta mère est toujours là?
Oui, Jérémy. Elle est là.
What is she doing?
Ok, je suis prêt pour brancher le son.
She looks like she's lost it.
Ça va révéler à Tyrone qu'on espionne. Alors tu vas à l'essentiel.
Vas-y, Jérémy, vas-y.
Yeah.
She's playing with the amulet or locket.
Maman, c'est moi.
Is that the necklace that Alito wore?
Je suis vivante. Tu entends? Je suis vivante.
Sorry, her face when she said mom.
C'est moi, Aelita. Écoute ma voix. Tu reconnais ma voix?
Of course.
Je comprends pas.
Qui tu parles?
Maman, je t'en prie, écoute ma voix. Je suis ta fille, Aelita. Je suis vivante. Je t'aime, maman. Maman!
Enfin, ma fille est morte. Mais qui êtes-vous?
Maman, je t'en prie. J'ai survécu grâce à papa. C'est lui qui m'a mis sur Lyoko. Maman, je t'aime. Écoute ma voix. Maman!
Lyoko? Aelita?
And I'm not gonna lie though, that gave me the chills. So.
Do it.
Sup?
Just do it.
So do those people just like sleep
I
in
did it.
virtualizing pods or something? Cause
There might be like a
They're
first
just,
responders
they're like
immediate.
mocap suits, but not really. But yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say it is interesting that both Chronicles and Evolution feature a amulet connected
did you
to
see
Aelita's
the
parents.
poll earlier on the Reddit about which direction people prefer, Chronicles or Evolution?
Yeah, I saw that. People
And
pick
Chronicles
Chronicles.
like won in a landslide.
Yeah, people just have the fans. I'm telling you, the fandom just has this huge hatred towards Evolution, but it's understandable. But at the same time, it's like
The thing is, is like
overhated.
I don't think a lot of people have
Understand.
read Chronicles because doesn't
Oh,
Chronicles
that's
do a lot of retconning?
yeah. A lot of people, there are reasons of that could be like it's anything's better than Evolution is some people's mindsets. So even if they haven't read it, they're like, oh, I haven't read this, but I know it's not. I know it's better than Evolution. I commented on there trying to balance it out, but it wasn't. People are just like, nah.
Yeah,
Evolution.
We're gonna get to it when I get around to reading to the time when I get to read Chronicles, but there is so much pointless retconning that Chronicles does in the first book and the retellings, and the second one there's just a number of little like this character wouldn't be doing this sort of scenario. It's not enough to ruin it, but it's enough for me to like it annoys me.
And like Evolution doesn't really retcon all that much.
It really doesn't. I still think Evolution's much more in line with the canon than Chronicles is.
If anything, the little stuff Evolution retcons is just to make its terrible story work better, which isn't entirely bad. But from what I've heard you tell, Flower, Chronicles just retcons things because it wants to.
Basically, I think what they're trying to go for is like a more realistic telling of the story, where like Aelita has flaming red hair. Like she has pink hair on Lyoko, but then she comes to the real world and it's actually no, it's just flaming red.
Seriously?
Yes. Yes, really.
I honestly don't like some people like both in fan fiction and like fan stuff retcon Aelita's hair to red, but I honestly don't like that at all.
I think that's kind of
I don't know. I've never liked that. I felt like the pink hair made her unique, even though within the world there are lots of people with like odd hair colors. But I don't know. I prefer pink haired Aelita. It's just her.
Also, we already had an entire plot point about this in a sense. The entire episode where Jeremy mistakes Talia for Aelita is like Aelita's hair isn't this color. It will never be this color. This is not Aelita.
Yeah,
exactly. I argue Chronicles is better written.
Oh
I do think Chronicles is better written because it retcons.
Dang, that's a big thing though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have to finish my own rereading of Chronicles because it's been a while. I get why people think Chronicles is better because of like it actually it ends. It has like it brings back it does a lot of the things that Evolution does, just a little bit better. You got a villain who's actually competent. You bring back the mother. You get into like the secrets of Project Carthage, and but anyway, this is probably after show discussion. Maybe we should move on to Imposters.
Yes.
This is another fun
All right. So Clona, Evolution's reason for why the Warriors can deactivate towers is because they have Xana's source codes in them. And because Xana has the keys to Lyoko, the Warriors subsequently have keys to Lyoko inside of them. This is why when Odd loses all his codes, he can't deactivate the towers until they re-inject source code into them.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
No, Nick, we are literally doing that. Flower is literally going to read Chronicles on stream while everybody gets to sit here. I don't know what I'm going to put on screen then.
I'm thinking the PDF would be great, or at least
you can
cover.
screen share the PDF and I can just display that. So as you read it, it follows along with what you're reading rather than me having to remember to turn the page every time or scroll the page every time. I don't know.
How many chapters would you do per stream?
So what I've been doing is I can't just say X chapters per stream because the chapter lengths are very inconsistent with each other. Like some chapters are really short and some of them are very long. So what I've done is I've thrown them into a text-to-speech generator, which gives me an audio file that gives me the length, and I use that estimation of the length, and I've been adding up the chapters till they get to about 80 minutes, roughly around there, and I'll call that a stream, a session, and then I've just been going through. I have up to 6 sessions planned. Should have the first, so I know the first stream's gonna be 1 through 4 plus the little prequel like note from Jeremy, and then the next Saturday, or maybe I'll do the Saturday Sunday, the next day will be 5 through 8, and then so on, and then the next session after that's like 9 through 16 because some of those chapters are really short.
Clona, the only real reason that Xana's existence doesn't make a whole lot of sense in Evolution is we never really see a point in time where he injects the warriors with source codes. Because
that's my issue.
There's never a point where we see either William or the Colossus in particular itself devirtualize all the warriors individually. Technically, if we go based off of devirtualizations, Aelita shouldn't have any source codes in Evolution. If we go off of Colossus kills, Aelita shouldn't have any source codes in Evolution. Actually, no, wait. No, the first time we see the Colossus, she gets devirtualized by it.
The only way the source code plot works is if you assume Xana kind of did it throughout like seasons 3 and 4 as like a backup plan, and then the codes didn't really become activated until after Xana died. My issue with that is if Xana was paranoid enough to come up with a backup plan, why doesn't William have any source codes? Because he really should. He should have more source codes than any other warrior, because Xana had total access to them.
I mean, the most logical conclusion would be they purged him. They purged him of source codes when they saved him.
That makes sense.
And considering William doesn't go back to Lyoko after he gets saved, he's never on Lyoko. I'm not saying it's stupid. It's just there was nothing in the original season to compel it, which makes sense.
Actually, you know what, Nightmare, you bring up a good point. It'd be an interesting twist if it turns out that William could also now deactivate towers, and he was the only one. Both Aelita and William could activate.
Aelita or William's new
That
Aelita.
would be, yes. That could be a way to get him back into the group too, because they're like, we need you, because not only can you fight, you can also deactivate towers. That I actually think that would have been a much better plot point.
Honestly, all of them being able to deactivate towers isn't terrible. Isn't terrible. It's the fact that it really exists in tandem with like really weird things like the 12-hour rule. The 12-hour rule doesn't exist. They literally try to re-virtualize Aelita or someone. They try to re-virtualize someone almost immediately, and I think season 3 or season 2.
Oh no, like 12 hours is a long time. Like if you think about things where like there's episodes where they go on a mission and then in the morning and then they have to go back to Lyoko later in the afternoon. That's less than 12 hours.
And
guys, it's not after show stuff.
I said that before, but we just kept going.
We need to
intermissions anyway.
We do need to keep going. But to note, we have to make sure we don't go off too long on combos for tomorrow because we have 4 to watch. So we have to get through them all
we'll
quickly.
Start and I'll carry on my tangent and while we're starting. So 3, 2, 1, begin. So the 12-hour rule isn't stupid inherently. Having it as a literal you can't go back to the Lyoko thing is stupid. But the warriors shouldn't be devirtualized immediately back on Lyoko because the show has made it very apparent Lyoko devirtualization, regardless of whether or not it was like Jeremy devirtualizes you or you end up getting forced
Celle-là est à
devirtualization
88% de sa puissance.
is
Virtualization or rematerialization.
incurs sickness on
On sait toujours pas qui est le spectre.
the individual.
Méfie-toi de tout le monde.
There's a reason Yumi's almost always passed out coming out of that scanner, except for like the very few exceptions.
Oh yeah,
Mais non, c'est pas possible.
Mais si, c'est possible.
So the 12-hour rule is as like a soft thing, like we really can't be sending you back like more than once or twice every 12 hours. Makes sense because you don't want to actually make the warriors sick from sending them to and fro Lyoko so much.
Non, quartier libre cet après-midi. Ah, Ellie, t'es pas là?
But a hard limit, just it's stupid because A, it violates what they've had up to this point, and B, it doesn't make sense from a fighting Xana standpoint. Also, yeah, we never get to see the field, and we haven't seen the field in Evolution up till now.
yeah. That's
Reviens-moi
the
quand
first-
t'auras trouvé l'illumination.
Hey. Tout va bien?
Wait, did you just say "hey" in English?
Even French people say
I mean,
hey.
it's like us saying
yeah, that's true.
bonjour.
Ta mère sait que t'es vivante, c'était déjà pas mal, non? Tu veux pas sortir un petit peu? Il fait
I mean,
super.
even I say hey in my language as well.
S'il m'envoie un message. Eh ben, tu l'auras en rentrant.
Hey, Lita, she's not gonna message you on social media. That's how you get caught by the
C'est quoi pour toi?
the feds.
Bah, on se promène, mais sans aller vite.
That's the fastest way to get caught by the feds when you're trying to hide from the feds.
On va faire les boutiques, on essaye plein de trucs, mais sans rien acheter. Et puis quand on sera bien crevé, on rentre chez moi et on boit un thé. Et tout ça sans Laura, évidemment.
Wait, you live somewhere else?
Yeah, they don't. I think we mentioned that earlier. They don't really bring that up that she doesn't live on campus.
Eh? Oh non, pas elle. Eh? Vous allez au centre commercial? Ouais.
Non.
Non, non. Ça tombe bien, moi aussi. Comme ça, je vais pouvoir vous donner des conseils pour vous habiller.
You know, I think they perfectly capture the girl who thinks she's way prettier than she actually is with the sissy actor. But I'm gonna put it on the hair department for that not perfect hairstyle. Even though we all know Sissy would be.
Sissy actually is supposed to be legitimately pretty, though.
Well, yeah, but she overblows how pretty she is the thing.
Yep. C'était trop beau pour
She's because you know she'll say she's the prettiest, but the show is well established. It's obviously a nice K.
Oui, Jérémy?
God damn it.
Ouais, je suis avec Elita. Ok, on arrive tout de suite. Bon, je suis désolée, Sissi, on va plus pouvoir.
Comment ça?
Bah, un truc urgent à régler. Le shopping, ce sera pour une autre fois.
Non, mais tu me prends pour une nouille ou quoi? Ça sent encore un truc pour me semer, hein. Si, Jérémy nous a appelés. Je crois qu'il a besoin de nous. Eh ben, on a qu'à aller voir Jérémy ensemble. Et le petit fournisseur, je te rappelle. Peut-être le résoudre, moi, sans problème.
Yo, I'm the principal's daughter.
Also.
But that is different. That's a very different way of her. Actually, I honestly think Laura's prettier than Sissy. Maybe that's just me. But that is an interesting thing that Sissy would.
William, it's Laura. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yo, let's go,
No,
William.
you just-
Beat up
you
Laura.
You just tried to cut William's
Classic
head off.
style.
I don't think we've ever seen the specters
On
like
essaie de rejoindre
shoot
l'usine,
and
chacun de notre côté. On pourra pas nous attraper tous les deux.
Cool.
Yes, we have.
Attends, ça veut dire qu'il y en a un de nous deux qui peut
Yes,
se
we
faire
have.
It can't catch both of us. Hold on, that means one of us is gonna get caught.
Lost his codes.
No, he has codes. They re-injected him with them.
Yeah.
See, William, this is why you shouldn't ride your pants low. It's like, I gotta back up.
Je vous lâche pas. Ça, c'est encore un prétexte pour
That's how the cool kids wear them.
Another excuse so you can go shopping without.
Là, tu pourras aller ailleurs et désactiver ce que tu sais.
When? When
Well,
has
that's
Yumi and
easy.
Aelita ever wanted to go shopping with you, Sissy?
À la maison.
They're supposed to be
They're friends now.
So.
Yeah.
I guess that's
They
true.
kept that.
Also-
They kept that at least.
Actually, I'll give props to Evolution for that, because most even fan works forget that they're supposed to be friends now. So, like,
Yeah.
definitely not perfect friends, but like,
Chronicles doesn't
it
keep
tries.
that. Granted, Chronicles
My
also
lord.
kind of forgets that William used to be part of the group, but
Is there two of them
Yeah.
now?
So there's two specs.
Pulling him with Yumi, that's just
Oh,
troll.
is this the episode I'm thinking of?
what episode are you thinking of?
I don't want to.
I mean, if you saw the previews, it is.
Oh, I totally missed it. So good. I hate fucking Evolution. Swear.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't.
guys,
I
it's the
was doing something
Spectre.
else at the time. All right, shush.
None of you have code.
On dirait que vous avez vu un spectre.
The Spectre.
Justement, je pose la question. D'après Loïc, t'as essayé de lui piquer ses codes.
Oh. That was a good line.
Okay.
That was funny.
Là, on a un gros problème. Soit il y a plusieurs spectres, soit ils changent de forme. Bon, quoi qu'il en soit, il faut qu'on arrête tout ça. Foncez sur Lyoko.
Yeah, because that was the first one. That was the first one that taught too. That's other one.
They really went for the old school how they did the humor in the original 4 seasons with that one.
Transfert William.
Yeah, for sure. But no, actually thinking about it, do you think, since Evolution is a slightly different canon than the original, do you think Jeremy ever went to Lyoko in Evolution's canon?
I mean, his portrait isn't there on the screen. He didn't. No. Also, doesn't he goes like twice? No, he goes 3 times in the original.
3 times, yeah.
That we know of. Because there's the time he goes to meet Aelita, and that goes horribly wrong. But technically, he doesn't get to Lyoko.
Frontier Ghost Channel and Mr. Puck are the 3 times in canon he went to Lyoko.
Yeah.
Or at least attempted to. He get virtualized, that's what matters.
Ça te dérange si je fume?
Again, I think he uses it more than once.
The past smoke.
I kind of like him using it more than once. We should keep that going.
Iconic.
On sait toujours pas qui est le spectre.
Kind of nice.
Viens, on va dans ma chambre. On va régler le problème de Jérémy. C'est ce que tu voulais, non?
Bah non. Moi, je voulais aller faire du shopping.
Allez, viens, on va faire un truc marrant, tu vas voir.
You remember, you used to do it all the time.
She really thought they were sneaking off to go shopping.
Alors?
Blondies.
C'est peut-être un piège.
Quel piège?
Tu trouves pas ça bizarre? 3 crabes seulement? J'ai vraiment l'impression que Xana le fait exprès.
Et alors? Tant mieux, ça ira beaucoup plus vite comme ça.
Oui, mais n'oublie pas qu'il a déjà essayé de nous tromper avec ses spectres. Ça cache quelque chose.
Écoute, autant attaquer et on verra bien après, non? J'occupe les crabes et toi la tour.
I mean, William's not wrong.
Hé les crustacés, je suis là.
Nice.
Hey, look! What's up?
Ah man, Yumi's done for.
Yumi, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Les crabes me prennent pour cible. Les tirs sont trop concentrés. Impossible d'atteindre la tour.
Et William?
Aucune idée. Je sais pas ce qu'il
I just realized what we're doing this with.
Yep.
Fais gaffe, William.
Dang, William. You get your ass hit.
Yeah, that was cool.
That wipe off his nose.
Je m'appelle Ulrich, je pratique le penchaxilat et j'ai le vertige.
Hey, they remembered his
Good job. Good job. It's always the little details.
He admitted it to his friend group before. Like, his friends know he doesn't like heights.
Yeah.
He kind of had to admit it in Vertigo, the episode.
Oh.
Come on, Chad.
Is that the edgy version?
Yeah.
For William?
Williams, yeah.
Attends, qu'est-ce que tu crois? Tu crois que je me suis amusé? Il y avait un quatrième mousquetaire planqué dans les rochers. Et
Fourth Musketeer.
C'était un piège.
Ouais. Et
Shut up,
finalement,
boy.
on nous en a préparé plein d'autres. Xana veut tout faire pour nous empêcher d'atteindre la tour.
Ah, il nous faudra un guerrier de plus.
Les amis, je viens de vous envoyer Ulrich en renfort.
Cool. Tu vois, tout finit.
Cool. I'm using that. Oh, what?
Damn! You know, not surprising, but damn! Ulrich knew that Yumi would get to virtualize, so he just took care of it for us.
Non mais tu vas te calmer. Jérémy, qu'est-ce que tu nous as envoyé?
And now he thinks he's in season 4, so he's fighting William.
I had a feeling that this was Xana, because Xana does know Ulrich is afraid of heights.
Yeah, it's literally the plot point.
Aucune idée. Normalement, le vrai Ulrich ne devrait pas tarder à te rejoindre. Enfin, si c'est le vrai.
Et comment je peux faire?
But they just don't remember that Xana would know.
J'en sais rien. Le lomap ne fait pas la différence.
Eh ben, ça promet.
Oh, so the real wait, what?
Si Xana envoie aussi des sosies sur Lyoko, on est mal barré. J'espère que
Yeah, I'm actually in the same boat as you.
So, while Orc was being sent to Lyoko, Xana also created a specter lookalike of him and had that meet up with the group first, while the real Ulrich's still getting to Lyoko.
Oh. Really? That's so weird. That's not the way I would have done that.
Dévirtualiser Yumi. Alors je veux avoir la preuve que vous n'êtes pas des triplés.
T'es vraiment un abruti doublé d'un free.
Ah, triplets!
Oh.
Beautiful! Oh.
That is probably the best line.
Does this mean Xana has more respect for William than Ulrich?
He's more respect for Odd than Yumi
On n'a
does.
toujours aucun moyen de différencier les vrais Lyoko guerriers des faux.
Continuez à vous poser des questions personnelles. Ça me paraît une bonne idée.
I should have known this was the one. I mean, imposters make so much more sense now.
Si vous saviez comment j'ai galéré pour venir jusqu'ici.
As if Xana wouldn't know personal things about them, though.
Every time someone comes in, they're just like,
I'll admit, this is actually a good gag. Like, it actually is.
Yeah, yeah.
Il faut que tu aies deux identités, alors tu me donnes ton nom, ton prénom et au moins deux informations.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?
Things Xana wouldn't know.
Réponds-nous d'abord. Je m'appelle Odd de la Robia. Je suis musicien.
This is not that bad of an episode.
I don't know.
I feel like Xana would know Odd is better at sports than Jeremy.
Yeah.
I really feel like
Everybody
Xana would
knows.
know all the warriors.
Yeah,
really
everybody.
at this point.
Now,
It's Xana.
why Odd's not a musician? He's an artist.
That's still an artist.
Is that an
actually the
Aelita
best
wig?
episode of Evolution?
Yep, looks like an Aelita wig.
Oh,
Aelita
she has one
bald
for
or-
every day. She has one for every day of the week.
Nah, they're showing us how to cosplay as Evolution Aelita because people would love to cosplay as Evolution Aelita.
No.
Tu sais qu'on n'a pas le droit à l'erreur. Si jamais je me fais avoir, il n'y a plus qu'Aelita ou Odd pour désactiver la tour.
Vous parlez de moi?
Odd? Attends, t'es sûr que c'est le vrai?
Bien sûr que je suis le vrai.
Jérémy, est-ce
Did
que tu
Odd
viens
just
de
imply
virtualiser
he was God?
Mais j'ai aucun moyen de savoir si celui qui est en face de vous est le bon ou pas.
Mais attendez, vous rigolez? Je vous dis que c'est moi.
I'll admit though, at least Evolution is giving us the Odd, Ulrich, and William trio on Lyoko like we have always deserved.
Yeah, the
Imposters
boy
really
band.
is the best episode.
The boy band episode.
Hell yeah.
That is so weird.
Whoa.
It was even. That is one freaky scene.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh my. I just. What? What?
It's like she knew that was.
Gonna
She saw that coming. Yep.
I think we're going.
All right, Imposters is the best episode.
I said this was a good episode.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites so far. It's a good comedy. I like the idea of the imposters.
Sauf que c'est peut-être une ruse du faux hôte justement. Sauf que moi je l'ai proposé en premier.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Well.
Can't take that risk.
Guys, why are you being this stupid?
J'ai pas bien vu qui de vous deux a dévirtualisé Ulrich.
Et de mon côté, je suis pas sûr que tu sois le vrai William.
Okay, but yeah, like okay, don't ruin this good episode.
Just saw.
Let's talk it over.
Explode, not to virtualize.
And I wouldn't use that. Let's talk it over after we kill some crabs.
Xana a créé des avatars qui nous ressemblent au détail près. Impossible de faire la différence. Bon, je vais aller aider Aelita et Yumi.
They just ask him again.
Je vais faire la différence. Laura, ça te dirait de créer un petit programme informatique?
Carrément.
Hey Laura, you want to do cute couple stuff that I'd totally do with Aelita, except she's not here.
No. Just keep going.
Is that you?
I mean.
Wait. How did Ulrich get there at the same time Yumi did?
Yep.
What?
The Chad music.
Pas encore, mais je suis un peu lent à la détente.
Allez, crabounet, à nous deux.
Come on. Not even Xana's that terribly witty.
Yeah.
Et voilà, on applaudit l'artiste. La voix est libre. Ah ouais, d'accord.
Anna, you've used this trick too many times. Come on. Oh, okay. Now you're getting on a bunch. That's fine.
That was so out of nowhere, though.
Bon, on va pas rester là toute la nuit. Est-ce que quelqu'un pourrait trouver une solution?
Bon bah écoutez, je propose qu'on désactive la tour et qu'on en discute juste après. Eh, ça va, doucement les gars, je suis d'accord. Attendez, c'est moi qui ai fait la proposition. Ça prouve que je suis le vrai hôte quand même, non?
Pas sûr. C'est comme tout à l'heure, ça peut être une ruse.
This is actually not a bad episode.
No, it really isn't. It really
this is
isn't.
like original quality writing. What?
Yeah.
Right? Actually, no. We need to check who wrote this episode.
This would,
like, for real.
This could literally function as like a season 3 episode.
Proxy puppy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Ok, à toi.
J'ai eu une idée. On a qu'à se poser des questions perso, et comme ça on saura tout de suite qui sont les vrais Lyoko guerriers.
Ok, commence.
William, est-ce que t'as déjà embrassé Yumi?
Joker.
Yumi.
You know Xana would know William more than anybody else.
I'm never telling you anything again.
Ton petit frère et c'est un nouveau maillot de bain.
Wait, Hiroki
Combien de filles
exists?
de ta classe es-tu sorti?
Alors là, non. Ça c'est pas du
Okay.
Attends.
I don't know, like where that's going.
Azra, Lola.
Who the hell is Jade? Lola? Hey, Azra! Heidi! Emily is in your class.
Yeah.
But,
Help me! Just
Les gars, préparez-vous à trouver l'illumination.
Compris.
Bien joué, Odd.
Oh, it's just faster.
Actually,
Don't
nah.
pull my leader.
In this episode, no one was nerfed. Like, Yumi got to virtualize first, Ulrich got to be a little bit of a Chad, so did Odd, so did William.
Mène-toi maintenant.
It's a good episode.
Ok.
Yumi, comment s'appelle ton amoureux?
I think Xana knows Odd is already in the tower, so he wants her to admit it. At least.
Le vrai Ulrich m'aurait jamais posé cette question.
Xana's like, listen, I'm tired of doing will they, won't they, so I'm gonna help us row out the way I know how. So...
Okay, so yeah, no, the real owner couldn't get there at the same time as Yumi could.
Yeah, yep.
Hey, that makes sense. There you go. Look at this. Who would have thought this episode would be good?
Right? Okay, so we have 2 good episodes of Evolution. Cortex and Imposters. That's 2 out of 21 so far?
I think there was another one that I liked. I can't remember which one it was.
I'll give Rivalry. So, that's 3 out of 21. Good job, Evolution.
3 out. Hey, je vous cherchais. Tout va bien?
You just saw it blow up! Come on! Oh no. Why can't every episode be imposters?
Now, was that...
Damn, even Return to the Past. We're really winning here. We're pulling all the shots.
Guys, this is just a season 3 episode. It was supposed to happen.
Oh, so they took like a script and then they just repurposed it.
It makes sense. William's a warrior in it. Like, come on.
That's why we asked.
It's a season 3 episode. William was supposed to get more experience on Lyoko before Xana possessed him, but then they had to cut the seasons in half. So they were like, oh, we'll just throw it into the last second.
Well, they had to rework some things, like William being a warrior. I don't legit think that this was supposed to be William more experience.
No, we're just...
Oh, right! Now, that was a great episode, and now we're going into Mutiny! Wazy's favorite episode! I can't wait to rewatch this, because I don't remember hating it, so,
It's not
sorry, Wazy.
terrible, but it makes a call that is not good.
Oh, no, I think
I'll
I know
talk about
exactly
it
the
after
scene.
the episode, but I hate
That's
it
a good idea.
I hate it from an overall
is this worth it
anymore? It's just all William and Laura. I'm remembering a lot of things that we were talking about.
This is the episode that
Code
really
Lyoko is a perfect show and does not contain any faults. And since
Evolution has so many faults, I'm sorry. We need one for Evolution.
Yeah, we're not talking about the original show here. We're talking about Evolution.
Yeah.
Wazy is literally the title of this stream right now.
Oh my god.
Is it worth it anymore?
It's not. We've gotten to Mutiny. Nah, Code Lyoko Evolution ends with imposters? And that's the rest of it. The show is just implied that the adventure never ends on Lyoko. It's just constantly fighting against Xana.
You know what?
Tyrone exists. It's cool. It's fun. It's open-ended. You enjoy it, you know? That's
I just realized how good Imposters was. Is that this was the episode that had the less talking from us. No,
yeah,
like that's how good it was. Oh man,
we can't trash on this episode. It's right out of season 3.
It's weird. It's weird because I don't remember this much of this episode. Like I remember the clones, but I don't remember it being as good as it was.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's just been a long time. And it's different when you watch it again after so long, when you're older.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get on to it.
3, 2, 1, begin.
I'm not happy.
Fine,
This is actually I remember liking this episode, even though there's the ending. But I hate to end the stream with this though, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna.
I know. Just man, we never ever leave in the stream with Evolution being great.
2 hours. That's the after show. That's the after show. Where he complains about Mutiny for 2 hours.
No, that's fine. I want to talk about it again.
Wait,
yeah.
that's how. That's the French word for mutiny.
Yep.
What?
Yes. Okay, but I actually like this shot. It's good. It's a nice perspective.
You don't really get to see it much. Like, they use that angle a lot in the original.
Yeah. Okay, but I like how mysterious-ish the new factory theme is. Like, it's definitely not the original. I know I've talked about it, but it's like, it's got a nice vibe to it. It's definitely a nice reimagining.
I think, like, as much as it's not
I like something you hear.
as the original computer UI, the new one is much more sensible with the idea that they have to like program everything on the spot and everything's sort of a command line function.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing Black Ops Call of Duty music with this track. I can't unhear it now.
Well, I don't hear Kino der Toten.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Are the zombies coming?
Oh my god.
Kill all the zombies!
How dare you say
Kill
it?
all zombies!
Now I'm hearing Call of Duty's theme because of you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They got Stranger Things and Call of Duty. How original.
Jeremy looks so depressed. Jeremy looks so depressed. It's hard to believe.
Funny thing is, next episode is Jeremy's blues. He's not supposed to be depressed yet.
Et alors si on fait ça maintenant, Elita n'aura plus accès aux infos sur sa mère.
C'est ridicule. Xana est un véritable danger. Vous pouvez pas prendre ça à la légère.
On est conscient, Laura. On sait ce qu'on fait.
I know it's just a translation thing, but access her mother's info sounds like she's like some sort of code or something. Like she's a machine.
Laura has a point here, though.
Like, her mother's not gonna
be
dead
but
if they destroy the
That's
computer.
the thing.
This is a conflict that could be avoided with better writing.
No, hold on. Okay, I argue this. Laura doesn't have the personal connection with the Lyoko warriors because of them.
Yes.
So naturally, Laura wouldn't really know most of the importance of Aelita's mother, like, other than, okay, she went missing, but, you know. So that's why I argue that, in a lot of ways, this is a problem of their own design.
What are you doing with the megaphone?
I mean, guys,
I can agree with that.
Franz Hopper isn't dead. He's in the middle of the cortex, so we can't really say Franz is dead. But no, like, considering that Aelita's father is dead, but her mother's alive, there is certainly a very large weight to the disconnect between Laura's understanding and the actual status of the warriors. Because everybody knows Franz Hopper sacrificed himself. Laura doesn't.
What I wonder is how much William knows about the whole Aelita situation.
I imagine they filled him in because he seems to have some form of an understanding.
Like, he joined way late after Xana escaped. And after Franz left.
One of the reasons why they had to bring him on too.
You know, this is like the Warriors have certainly let William back into the team a lot by this point. I don't feel like maybe earlier in the season, but right now William kind of doing this doesn't make a lot of sense on the with regards to they've kept you out of the group. No, he's very much in the group. He played a very key role in that in the last episode, saving the day.
Et William, il est pas là?
À mon avis, il va arriver en dernier pour faire son malin. C'est bien son style.
And then that entire thing is...
William isn't in your class.
No, I think the
wait,
cross-country
Yumi's
race.
here too. Wait,
Yeah.
what is happening?
It's a cross-country race, and I think it's like all the students have to do it.
That makes sense.
So Laura and William are basically ditching.
It'd be like that sometimes.
You don't understand.
But wait, Laura cares about her grades. I don't think she should be
It's
skipping
just gym
tests.
class. You're right, but it's just gym class.
It's true as well.
There's no way that's... This
Maybe
supposed
it's
to be
like
everyone at Caddick?
maybe it's like 2 grade levels or 2 classes, and they just happen to be the classes the Warriors and Yumi are in.
William was just so easy to convince.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I'd still agree that William doesn't quite have as much of an emotional
Why I
connection.
hate this episode. Like William.
It's just William and Laura's.
I don't think William would do this. Like
Yeah,
just
it's
in
just-
general, I don't think he would have.
All it took was a couple of words, and he's like, okay.
I would argue William hates Xana the most, though.
Well, yeah.
Which, like, yeah, you could compel
Oh, here we
him
go.
wanting
Stranger
to
Things.
destroy Xana the most on the premise that he does very likely hate Xana the most out of all the warriors.
Oh, je m'inquiète pas, tu sais. Je mesure les risques. C'est très différent. Je peux te poser une question?
But I don't know if he hates Xana this much that he would.
Why not do a
backstab
self-
everyone.
C'est très payé pour des incompris comme nous.
Ouais, ouais. On va déjà
First
voir si
place,
t'es
eh?
capable de m'amener jusqu'au cortex en un seul morceau.
Understood.
Yeah, your internet died, Wazy.
Too, just saying. I know budget, but
Where is it? Your internet died. You have to repeat.
William isn't an idiot. He's just so dumb.
Je vais essayer de le trouver. Tu me couvres? Ok.
C'est le moment de vérité. T'es prête?
Plus que prête. Moteur.
Et c'est parti.
His very first time.
And suddenly everyone's able to pilot the kid.
Terrible.
Bravo. Bon, maintenant tu plonges droit dans la mer numérique et tu prends la direction ouest-sud-ouest.
Sorry, what timestamp are we at?
8:30, 8:31, 32, 33,
Yeah.
8:34.
J'ai l'impression d'être le commandant du Titanic.
T'en fais pas, je sais où sont les icebergs, matelot. Ah, justement,
Quoi?
il y a des bestioles embusquées tout près.
Bien vu, Laura.
Laisse-les venir, c'est un groupe isolé.
Ça marche.
Xana's just like, oh, so he's alone on Lyoko again. Well,
It's putting the
Kinda.
skid at risk.
oh yeah, that's.
It only took Jeremy a week to program a new one.
Only a week.
I bet it'll take him 5 days this time.
Allez, venez, venez, mes petits. C'est l'heure du goûter.
Also, I wouldn't
It's
really be
Bruce.
like, this is William's first time piloting the skid. He did have his Rorqual, and I would argue he might.
It's
he
still
might
different.
transfer over.
Yeah, it's not too different from the skid. Oh, that's a shame. Lazy's internet's fucking up at the wrong time. Well, actually, it's a good time for him.
Wazy just have to watch
I don't
YouTube.
mind.
The dream team more like a nightmare.
I don't mind Laura and William coming together. I actually think that's a really good idea from a plot point from where Laura
No,
is
yeah,
as a character,
for sure.
where William is. But it's just like this.
This would need
Like,
like
even
a
if they're doing bad things together, it's just setup. The setup is bad. And it's about to get worse. But
Yeah, I remember. I know this. I know how the rest of this is
Oh,
going.
it's this episode. Now I know. I just remember what this episode's about.
Yeah.
Pourquoi ça marche pas?
Allez, Laura.
Attends, j'y suis presque.
Oh. Oh, what are you?
Very convenient.
Just left the book there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's not something that can fall out of your pocket. That's something you're holding. She's like, yeah, I'll just leave it here.
It's a better spot than the ground. Still not a good spot for a book, though. It might rain.
Flower, you're more concerned about the book than the warriors.
How could they do that?
Flower's about ready to.
Flowers.
No, Flower, who is it you're killing? Is it William for leaving the book there, or the writer
I
for
blame
leaving
the writers.
the book there?
I blame the writers.
Yeah, everything pretty much is pointed to the writers.
J'ai de la compagnie là.
Suddenly, Laura can't do something.
Man, Xana really
Attends, j'y suis presque.
gives a shit.
Là, ça doit être bon. Oh non, c'est pas vrai.
Just super smoke, bro.
You did it in Cortex.
Yeah.
Also,
No, but William is able to traverse the Cortex. We've seen him do it.
Reverse.
Also, Xana could totally just
Get
destroy
your sword
this
back.
kid right now. They could
Yep.
totally hardcore just destroy this kid right now.
You want something more important.
In every episode they go to the Cortex, he can destroy the skid because they leave it unattended.
Oh.
Here it
And
is.
here it is.
Medusa.
Dévirtualise-moi.
Attends de savoir ce que tu veux. Mégapod ou la dévirtualisation?
He's having trauma flashbacks.
Yeah.
He's having
Super
Vietnam
smoke
flashbacks.
already, dude.
Right now.
Yeah, super smoke. That's like you.
He's got the Alita Schizozoa syndrome where he sees the skiff and he freezes.
I love that. I love that.
For William, it actually makes sense. But I have the issue of okay, William
Yumi knows
needing
how
to
to
skip
do
a
it.
again.
That's right.
All the warriors
William
have
seems to skip a
basic
again.
training.
Crash
Good.
course.
Encountering it.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Good, but it's the setup. Because this is a really stupid, like, from both characters' perspective. Like, characters having bad plans, cool. But, like, I don't know, they're both... It doesn't work for either of them. So it's like, William getting possessed again, like this, is lame.
Yeah, it is lame.
It's just lame.
Traumatise pas?
I like the idea of him getting repossessed, but
Yeah.
this is really lame.
Yeah. Also, I don't like that it implies that in Evolution canon, this is how William looked when he was possessed throughout Season 4. Like, with the blue and the Eye of Xana constantly on his forehead, it ain't good. It ain't good.
Oh.
You thought you were better than us.
Yeah, totally not. No.
Yeah.
So subtle. True ninjas.
La priorité numéro 1, c'est William. Le reste, on
No,
va.
Xana totally has his hands on the virus.
Oh, t'as qu'à rester ici. T'es le seul qui peut donner le change à Jim. Ok.
Allez, go. Voilà, go.
Odd's the one who gets stuck back. Or
Qu'est-ce que
Odd.
tu croyais?
See, if this was an original episode, he'd be staying back to fight off the monster of the week that Xana just sent their way.
Hey,
But
Jim,
no, he's just sitting there to cover for him.
Jim is a monster. It's not one of Xana's monsters. He just would rather not talk about it.
They both took a risk. What are you talking
Ah
about?
non, j'attendais que ça dans le dos. Je suis pas si bête.
J'active les
You're sending Yumi?
Yumi's there.
Yeah, he
Yumi's
can.
there.
Once the skid acts as a waypoint in a sense, or a node, so he can just once the skid's on the cortex, he can just.
Transfert Aelita. Transfert Ulrich.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that, but yeah, the Skipazoa constantly being connected, having to constantly be connected to William is really lame. It's
It
really,
could
really
be
lame.
that Xana needs time to fully possess William because he's not as strong as he used to be.
It's also possible that the only reason Xana was able to permanently possess William.
Yeah, it's just it's attached. Like I really don't like it being attached. That's something that really bothers me.
It is kind of dumb though. Yeah.
Et si jamais c'était à cause de ça? William est hypersensible. Il est vraiment.
Like they've already done
Pas facile de savoir ce
an evil clone of William on Lyoko. Why can't you?
Sensitive though. Oric's the sensitive one.
14 laps, man.
Exactly. Cross country 14 laps. Jeez.
J'ai un méga point de côté là. J'ai essayé de suivre Aelita, Yumi et Ulrich, mais ils vont trop vite.
Ils viennent de passer.
Ouais, pour l'instant, comme des fusées.
Jim just bleeds him.
Yeah. Say okay.
It'd be like that.
Yumi can canonically run fast
Guys,
though.
I'm having buzz droid.
Ulrich, j'active la tourelle. Prends les manettes.
No, 3.
Oh.
Episode 3.
Prevent the sit. You heretic.
Only the Megapod gun comes
They
back.
wrecked the cat. Wow.
Wow,
That is a
okay.
really weak sauce cannon.
Yeah. Weak sauce.
Nico, mais tu rêves. T'as perdu le droit de me demander quoi que ce soit.
He's entirely right. They wouldn't be in this situation if she hadn't gotten in over her head.
Ulrich,
Yes.
je viens de vous
Yes.
passer la face électrique. Ça devrait vous aider. Attention, je vais envoyer le jus. Maintenant.
Il y en a encore 2 qui sont restés accrochés. Ils ont résisté.
Jérémy, envoie-moi dehors.
T'es sûr?
Vas-y, transfère-moi.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Good
Is
Chad.
Ulrich about to go Super Chad? Yeah.
Yo!
You got this.
Damn.
You did it. Going Chad.
That was beautiful. Another
I went.
Okay, the first series will recommend to do that with 2 tarantulas, so
Just pass them.
Pass them. They're coming.
Nonsense. Yeah, that's actually great.
J'ai l'impression qu'on nous observe. Pas vous?
Je confirme, ça bouge pas mal dans le coin. Et ils sont nombreux.
On voit ça. Il en arrive de partout.
This is so stupid.
Hello there.
it really is.
What did he say?
Que c'est lui qui les commande tous. William, c'est nous.
There was no
Yeah.
caption.
And Yumi's gone. No, what? Oh,
That's
oh, come
not-
on.
Va falloir qu'on se dépêche de trouver une idée pour nous sortir de ce guépier.
Come on, Xantified William is more of a charmer than that. He would say, your time is up for some sort
The
of...
Medusa is.
Xanatification.
So is the Skipazoa the Medusa now?
I think it was Medusa in the original French version, and it got translated to Skipazoa.
In the Serbian dub of the original series, it was called the Medusa.
Time to go Chad.
Ça va relâcher son emprise.
That's an
Oh, that's it,
interesting.
Dark
That's
Side,
a,
I'm right.
La méduse. Enfin, c'est ce que j'espère.
I like Skipazoa better.
So the thing is, the Medusa doesn't make sense.
Same.
It doesn't
They're
turn
trying-
anyone to stone.
No, it doesn't.
Ça va jamais marcher.
Spooky.
Darth
It
Vader.
is, that is legitimately spooky. As dumb as this whole setup is,
Les gars,
Xana William is actually kind of scary.
There's the same in that episode, season 4 nostalgia. So
Yeah, kinda, but also like, just no.
I know.
Ah.
Okay, now that's
Too much
more
edge.
like it. Admittedly, I will blow you. Yeah.
C'est le moment. Yumi, tu n'auras droit qu'à une chance. Ça va aller.
No, you need more.
Dang,
A
she
lot
didn't get
more.
hit. That's totally unlike Ilita. Wow, they really just.
T'es plus fort que Xana. Ah, tu l'as déjà montré une fois.
Again, this premise is silly, but Elric actually trying to
Yeah.
talk William out of being possessed is interesting character development.
No, it is. That's something. That's something
So being able to
that
kill
should be a
kill
thing.
the skip is
Quick, now de-virtualize him before Xana takes him over.
Being able to kill the Skipazoa.
I don't think he killed this, because if you notice, all the crabs exploded too. I think Xana was just like, I've lost this
Fair.
one. Blow up all my stuff.
Do you actually do that?
Je suis vraiment désolé, les gars. Mais avec tout ça, j'ai enfin compris que je pouvais vraiment compter sur vous. Alors, merci.
N'importe quoi. Décidément, vous arrangez pas. La faiblesse, c'est vraiment votre truc.
Toi, mais tais-toi, sinon.
Tu l'as jamais vu. hein.
Oh day.
Est-ce comment tu te rends compte qu'on a failli perdre William aujourd'hui?
Am I watching Zodiac Evolution or am I watching Boruto?
On vote?
William, are you gonna vote?
Bon, on est d'accord. Jérémy, tu vas lancer un retour dans le passé. Il n'y aura plus de rien.
Okay, but even then, they're still excluding him.
Espace-temps, le supercalculateur quantique va se focaliser sur toi.
Also, Jeremy suddenly learns to do this at a convenient time.
I know. This is so season 4.
I feel like he's had known about this for a while.
Yeah.
He's just this.
Use it for the
in
right.
case.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the way to end it. That is an awful ending, though.
Yeah, it is. No.
Oh, that's probably the worst ending.
Subtitling each
Here-
player.
Oh, we did it!
Okay. Here are my
Alright,
issues with me, because
Here we go.
Spill the beans.
2
Spill the
hours
beans.
talk on why
Okay.
mutiny sucks.
Yeah. Okay, mutiny as a premise, in and of itself, could actually legitimately work. Laura feeling betrayed by the group and convincing William, the one who has always been sort of the outsider, can actually work as a premise to like go to Lyoko, betray them, that sort of thing. William getting possessed this way, debatable, but I feel like with good enough writing, yeah, you could make it work. You could genuinely make it work. However, the issues are they have William come to Laura's side in the dumbest way possible. Like, oh yeah, the group excludes you, even though they haven't excluded him since Rivalry, for one. Two, it's just like, William, you're not... William, crap, Flower, you mentioned it earlier. William isn't the emotional one. Ulrich is, like...
Yeah. That
William-
line, like, William's so sensitive. He really isn't. Oryx is
William...
the sensitive one.
I would say William's sensitive in sort of like a Kudere type of way. You know, they
Kudere?
don't express outward emotion. I know it's not the best.
Yeah.
They don't
Oryx
express outward
doesn't
emotion.
really express outward emotion either, but that's why
I think it's
he's
different when it
crying all
comes
the
to
time.
Xana and stuff like this, though. Kind
Yeah.
of make him a bit more sensitive than usual.
That can make sense.
Like I said, of all the warriors, the warriors don't really hate Xana. They know Xana's an evil entity,
Well-
and they know they have to fight him, but they don't really like hate him.
Laura's perspective of being like, yo, you guys are missing this opportunity is actually correct, and that actually makes for good character conflict.
I
But
agree.
it's just... Oh?
I just said I
Go
agree.
ahead.
I was just saying
you agree? I thought you
yeah.
said that you disagree.
No, I
No,
don't.
no, 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 no.
I
I
don't
agree.
think anyone
Absolutely.
disagree that Laura.
Yeah.
Laura's seeing that Xana's. Laura's seeing that Xana needs to be eliminated. He's too big a threat, and it's too dangerous for him to get out of control again. Is completely correct. But
exactly.
the conflict is that she's missing the entire point of why they can't. Which I think is genuinely stupid. As much as the Warriors wanna see the Cortex, the supercomputer the Cortex is on, as the only way to communicate with Anthea, kind of wrong. Because A assumes that Tyrone isn't just gonna rebuild the supercomputer after they fry it. Tyrone is totally gonna rebuild that supercomputer after they fry it. So yeah, you fry it, and you aren't able to snoop around for your mom for like half a year while Tyrone rebuilds the bloody thing, or
pretty much
it could be freaking 2 weeks, because whatever dark money organization is funding the super soldier program that Tyrone is basically running with the supercomputer, because that's I'm 100% positive that's what Tyrone is doing. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yep. But now
they're gonna be
sorry,
like,
go ahead.
The computer exploded, and be like, yeah, I kind of need a new one, and be like, get it now. Here's the money. Get it now, or you're dead.
Tyrone is being funded by Palpatine.
Do it. Get it done, or it will be your head, young Tyrone.
That's actual like avatar.
The Warriors are genuinely wrong here. The right thing to do is destroy that, because there's gonna be opportunities, ways to find Anthea. Even if the Cortex never gets rebuilt, there's gonna be ways to find Anthea. Like,
especially since she knows her daughter is alive.
She might run away from the criminal organization that's kept her enslaved all these years in an attempt to find her daughter that she swore was dead, because she probably assumed that criminal organization murdered her and Franz Hopper.
Yep. But nah. With all of that, I think it's time to get to the big fish with Mutiny.
Do it.
Laura. Yes, Laura's right in this episode. She is 100% right. But I think the big thing of this being her ending, both simultaneously doesn't have enough writing to work, and yet simultaneously has too much writing to work, if that makes sense. Okay, no. Because, hear me out. Like, with the intent of, Laura as a character, fine. She joins the group in a bad way, and eventually, because of her selfishness, she is eventually kicked out from. That's fine. That's valid enough. But I feel like with how much they wanted to push Laura as a character, to just kind of throw her away in this way is kind of it's just like. It's just like you spend enough time writing someone, and then we're done with her, discarded. That's it. It's almost anticlimactic, unceremonious. It's just we're done with Laura. Then at the same time, it doesn't have enough writing, because Laura just kind of jumps in and out of the plot to the point where she's here in an episode, now she's not, and it's like we as an audience don't get to know her enough for her leaving to really be anything really other than she's gone, because people dislike Laura, but the intent was for Laura to be at least the intent with Laura is weird from episode to episode. Sometimes she's sympathetic, sometimes she's the root of all evil, sometimes it's just so it's like you don't really have enough of a grasp of Laura for this ending to work either. It's bad. It's
this
bad.
Also really plays with the. So, what happens when you return to the past, mind wipe someone?
Oh, okay. So I have an explanation for this that I've just kind of come up with. So the reason why Jeremy's return completely mind wiping her works, I kind of theorize in conjunction with how her weird immunity works, where it's like she doesn't remember things instantly. It takes a bit for them to come back, and I suspect that what's happening is it's kind of storing her memory separately. And then so every time I return to the past, she included her own little program where like after the return to the past, it specifically returns her memories to her over time. So every time I return to the past functions, it's only to a sorry, I'm backtracking a little because I jumped ahead in my explanation. So every time from the day that the warriors are like, "Hey, we need your help to build this virus. Come help us." It started storing her memories. So every time a return to the past comes, she has to get all her memories back from that day every time a return happens. So when Jeremy's finally like, all right, enough's enough, we're kicking you off the team, he undoes that. So that part of I'm going to give you all the memories back after the return, that doesn't happen. So she just suddenly doesn't remember anything at all from the day she was.
But what about all the not Xana fighting stuff that she learned that day? That's the really weird thing here. That's the paradoxical element of this.
She just has like amnesia. Like she literally remembers sitting in like she remembers sitting in like a room to like studying, and then suddenly she's somewhere else and she's like, how did that happen? Why do I have months gone from my memory? That just happened.
Oh my gosh. You hit your no. Oh, you know the meme going around like, oh, you hit your head really hard, that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no. She's like, where am I? And the warrior's like, you hit your head really hard. Xana? Lyoko? Nah, it's 2000. It's 2004. Avatar Last Airbender just started.
I still think the meme Wheezy made was great. Tyrone, Evolution, Laura? What? No, dude, Xana must have fried your brain pretty bad. We have a replica to go take out.
It's beautiful.
Also, another thing, actually, since I don't know, I feel like this is a good time to just talk about Laura in general. Granted, I know she comes back later for something, which still dumb,
Don't spoil
but
it for me.
all right, Laura comes back later, but no.
Figured there's 4 episodes left.
Yeah, with Laura as well, her development is also kind of all over the place. What happened to the slight thank you from Aelita in that one episode? It just kind of never went anywhere. They just immediately went back to hating each other again, and that was it. There was really no resolution to Aelita at least sort of warming up to her in that one sense. It's just like, now we forgot about that. It's back to normal. It's back to how we started. It's just like, ugh. Which again, Laura being a foil to Aelita, who's already written really bad, it just adds to everything
Laura's
with her. But
the self-insert fanfic character.
even then, it's just like, I feel like they had some genuinely. Okay, I would have done Laura very differently. Like, if I were rewriting Evolution, I'd actually keep Laura, but I'd do her very differently. And where this love triangle stuff, no, just no. But just I don't know.
No, we already have a love triangle that's poorly perpetuated.
Like I've said, I think I've said before, Laura, if I were to do Laura, I would just make her like the next sissy. But like she can compete, but she's also retain her intelligence, retain the whole daddy issues she's got going on, and just make her a total jerk to the warriors, who's probably more nosy than she should because she secretly wants to be with them, but she's too prideful to admit it. And she's just getting in the way all the time. But she's also competent, so like there's a few episodes where like she almost reveals the secrets and they have to like spin their wheels to try and keep it from getting out. And there's the occasional episode where Xana attacks and Laura helps out, and hey, maybe Laura's not a terrible person.
I'm down with the sort of arc where a terrible person just kind of like they try to get better, but they just end up not doing it. Like, okay, not really try to get better, but they have moments where, oh, maybe you're not so bad, but I don't know. That's not well. Okay, yeah, no, I know that's what you would do with Laura, but it's like even with their intentions with Laura as a character are just weird.
Yes.
Because yeah, it's like
I heard the original reason was so it's for an audience surrogate, so people who've never watched
Yeah.
the original, they can use Laura to explain stuff. But if that's the reason, it doesn't either. They failed really badly, or that's just plain wrong because she doesn't come in until episode 4, and even when she's here, they don't like to explain stuff to her. Like most of the characters
Yeah.
don't like her very much.
They should have
Yeah,
just
if you don't know, then just
Odd
don't
on the
talk.
head really hard with a pipe and had him be the insert. Have him be
William
the surrogate for the fans.
would be an insert. Like they could explain his situation with like some fighting, kind of like they do in the second episode, I think, where the Williams like, "Come on, I'm not an idiot," and then they
Or
just
they could
kind of.
have
Hey, you remember that time you were possessed by Xana for like months on end? Yeah, that happened. That's why you're not on the team. And then when he does come back on the team, they just start explaining stuff like, "Yeah, we have to activate towers," because he probably doesn't know that much. If you really felt like you needed an audience surrogate to explain these things, then I think William would have just made a better character for that role.
That, or like I said, just whack Odd on the head really hard with a pipe and give him amnesia.
A more believable thing would be if, let's say, they do a return to the past for personal reasons, and all of a sudden, William, or Hardy in your case, Dylan, somehow doesn't get his memories, and
Hey,
they
don't
have
look
to-
at me. I'm just picking the character that they mincemeated the most personality-wise.
They have a failed return to the past where they accidentally lock
Nightmare.
memories and they have to explain everything now.
Hold on.
Also, do what Chronicles did, and Aelita just inexplicably just forgets everything, and they have to re-explain
God.
everything to her again. That's literally what Chronicles does.
But
Oh,
I forget
God.
what was the what was one of the things they changed about telling her of what did they change about fight to the finish in the retelling to Aelita?
Well, I think the big thing was they kind of implied that because they have William get possessed to knock out Jeremy, but like there's a lot of things they changed. They so William comes up, knocks out Jeremy because he gets possessed by Xana, and the way it's written kind of implies that this is the first time Xana's possessed somebody, and this is the first time Jeremy's been knocked out because they're constantly like, "Hey, where's Jeremy? Where are you? What are you doing? Sleeping on the chub?" Even though if this was the original, this has happened before. I usually get like, "Oh, there's something going
they
wrong."
figured it out pretty quickly. It had Aelita. And
Yep.
Yumi just go the way of the dodo bird.
That's right. Yumi, Odd was the one that went up to help Yumi fight off Xanafied William instead of Ulrich.
Actually, well, no, because
That's
so what?
because
So what happens is Yumi goes to fight Xanafied William, and then, just as they're trying to get to the core to the Sector 5 to launch the multi-agent program. Ulrich finds out that Yumi's in trouble, so he's like, I must save my wannabe girlfriend, and then he straight up just hardcore incapacitates the Colossus. If you don't want to say he kills it, and then he lets himself just get crushed by it so he can go help Yumi.
Oh my god. But no. In response to what Nightmare you said, the entire problem with Laura is that they actively keep not telling her information. Honestly, I still think that could work from a plot perspective. But the thing of it is that they just don't fully deliver with it. Like the Lyoko warriors being distrusting of someone who kind of forced their way into their ranks. Honestly, if I did it, I would have just gone the full way and just have Laura virtualize herself or something. I don't know.
That makes more sense. what Evolution pulls.
Yeah.
I don't I don't fault them for not wanting to tell her everything. She forced her way into the group. But
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not
think
bad.
explaining stuff like character relationships and Aelita's father built this. He died to save Aelita. That's why the computer's important to us. That's why and then because Laura knows Aelita's mom is alive. So then Laura kind of could realize maybe that, oh, this is the only way Aelita knows where her mom is. But I kind of see, and you could have Laura be like, that doesn't matter. Stopping Xana's more important. And then you can have this entire whole fight go on, but you don't have you don't have this weird angle where Laura just doesn't understand. Laura can understand and still be like, no, we have to kill Xana. That's the more important thing here.
Yeah.
And Evolution kind of loves to play around with this idea of the characters can't still be still can't be committed to their opinions if they know something. No, you can have people be a person can be an asshole even if they know they're an asshole. I'm not saying Laura's being I'm just trying to say someone who knows something doesn't automatically have that be their opinion. I'll be right back. You might.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right, Nightmare. He could have explained why it was important.
I feel like she should have already known.
Yeah.
That, like, well, yeah, it's important to Aelita, and I know as a viewer that the Warriors will choose to support a friend over the safety of the world.
Definitely.
It's like this is to the point where, like, okay, if we don't sacrifice this person, then for sure the world's gonna die. But if it's a chance, they're gonna take it.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I think this episode. Okay, nah, but that doesn't work. I was gonna say. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's also again with my point that Laura becomes the next Sissy. You could argue she kind of is like Sissy in this episode, because back in Xana Awakens, when Sissy got brought into the group, and she's like, you know what, this is really dangerous. Maybe we should tell the authorities. She does the right thing, and she gets kicked out of the group.
Yep.
Laura here, she makes a valid point. You're putting everyone at risk for something silly.
Yep.
Let's just end this now because we can. Granted, she doesn't go to the principal and bring the whole cops down on everybody. Oh boy, that'd be a. But and then you know what? They kick her out of the group.
I don't think even with Jeremy's special Return to the Past, I always imagine that it will never truly erase her memories, that eventually she'll slowly gain them by having dreams about it, just like William kind of had at first before finding out that they were true. I don't think Return to the Past like that would actually truly wipe all her memory.
We're going to talk more about Laura later, but this is why, at least.
Oh, does that happen?
Yeah, we're going to talk. No, never mind. But this is why, one of my early plans for, Lyoko projects when I was brought on was one of the things I wanted to do with Laura was for everybody does the thing where Tyrone comes from her and we'll talk more about that later. But my initial idea was like, nah, Xana's the one that goes after her because she's interesting, she's competent, has reasons to hate the Warriors. I could possibly work with this, and that's at least where I was coming from early on. I was gonna have
That'd be interesting, like in season 2, literally this whole Laura subplot is just a build up for her becoming the new William.
Pretty much. That's what I wanted to do. And that's what I wanted to do early on, but it didn't. It was it was before I was head, so a lot of things didn't happen. But yeah, and I have new ideas for Laura, but it depends if we get there. But
and of course, spoilers for Pookie, so hush and some
exactly. Exactly, but man, Laura at the very least, it's like, I don't know. Actually, another thing I would have played into more with Laura, granted if we're keeping her more close to the same in evolution. I would honestly play more both into her desire to make friends, because that's clearly what she wanted early on, especially with Jeremy. Well, I would play more. I talked about this earlier, but I would obviously play more into Laura and William as a friendship, but I'd also. Okay. I'd play both into her desire to have friends and her thing of not wanting, but her ego a little bit, and how those two things can clash with one another. Because you either have where her ego is her one defining trait in an episode, or her desire to be around. Well, nah. Honestly, after Mrs. Einstein, they kind of just drop her desire to have friends, and I don't know. I feel like if the original show handled Laura, I could see them doing a lot more with that. I think it plays more into the same thing that you've been talking about, Flower. How evolution doesn't play into the real world as much as the slice of life
Gags. It's like mostly just like fluff, gags, gives you a breather or setup, or it's just like they're talking about their plans. But it's not like in the other show, yeah, they did that too, but they also, sometimes it got more serious. Like we all remember nobody in particular just comes to mind with the whole plot line, like, or it's legitimately scary, he's going to be sent to remedial, because that has a whole slew of consequences if that comes to fruition.
Exactly. I think the slice of life aspect of Code Lyoko actually would have greatly helped Laura's arc, because it would have pushed her away a lot from the whole Lyoko stuff and actually say, let's develop a human character who has flaws and traits of her own. And honestly, I don't know, now that I'm thinking about Laura and evolution a lot, I honestly could see Odd befriending a little bit, because
Odd befriends everybody. Usually.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Odd would try to date Laura, because she's a little too.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
She's smart, but she's not very charismatic.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Odd tries to date every
I
time.
couldn't. To be
I
fair,
can't picture it either. But
He's not the kind of guy that's like trying to. He's not the I date literally everyone who moves because I just want to get laid. That's not him.
I guess that's fair. I mean, he still has dated every girl in his grade, though.
I don't know if it's every girl.
Well, it's not Aelita, but
no, I'm not. Not
Aelita
even.
or Sissy.
It's just like exaggeration.
Yeah. I'd argue that.
I believe a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know about every single person.
Odd has dated every girl in his grade, except
Every time
I don't
like they
think
bring
that he
up
actually
Odd
has.
dating, he's like always got some reason, like, oh, I'm attracted to so and so because we both like dogs, and she's usually it's just because she's pretty, but sometimes it's just, oh, we have a connection, oh, we internet chatting, and she says lovely poems, and I mean I'm referencing the one where he accidentally dates Sissy for a little bit, but
Accidentally.
it's always when the scene where like Jeremy, Odd, and Ulrich are walking to the showers, and they're like, "So you've dated like every girl on campus?" He's just like, "I'm looking for love." Like he's not dating to make some kind of record. He's just dating because he wants to find somebody, and he's an extrovert, so he wants to spend time with people.
I would say Odd probably just doesn't know what he wants out of a relationship, which is why he's done every girl. But I mean,
I don't think he's dated every girl though. I think that's just. I think there was a joke. No, there's no way Odd has dated every girl.
I mean,
be more specific.
No, I think Odd's the one who said.
I think yeah.
Because, or no. I think he was either going for a girl in a different grade, and one of the warriors commented like, "Odd, haven't you already gone out with everyone else?" Thank you for the follow, Hyper Triangle. And then one of the warriors, I think, comments, "Odd, haven't you already gone out with every girl in our grade?"
Yeah, I just take that line as a joke, not actual fact.
Yeah, same
know.
here. I think Odd has some standards.
I don't know. I think Odds dated at least a vast majority of their grades.
I agree with that. I just don't agree with all the girls in Caddick. I don't.
At least 80%.
He didn't say Caddick, but he said their grade.
Grade. Well, okay.
But yeah, that's fair.
It's also entirely possible we're thinking there are more people in his grade than there actually are.
Yeah. I think, okay, I'd say it's up to interpretation, but regardless, backtracking a bit, I don't think Odd would date Laura, arguably for the same reasons that he wouldn't date both Aelita and Sissy. Because, Laura becoming part of the group, in a sense, would be, I feel like, okay, the Lyoko Warriors are sort of a weird dysfunctional family. And so I feel like Laura kind of, but not really being part of that family is one reason that he wouldn't date her. But at the same time, because he wouldn't date Yumi either. Granted, partially because of Ulrich, but partially I just can't see him, wanting to date her because of that same thing. But also because Laura, which plays into the sissy aspect, Laura isn't, I guess, what's the best way to go about it? Laura has a little, I guess in the same way that Laura has a little bit of animosity with his friends, where even if he thought, oh, she's kind of cute, I don't see him going, especially with how close he is with Aelita, I don't see him going for Laura because of, because of that animosity with Aelita. I think he cares about her too much that he'd be like, nah, I couldn't do that, Because Odd has standards, and I feel like a lot of people in the community actually kind of not flanderize him, but misrepresent him in the sense where, a lot of people see Odd as this sort of this just, oh man, I only have girls on the mind player. Granted, he is a player. He actually dated 2 girls at once, but
They got broken up at the same time.
Yep. But man,
who got broken up with.
Yep. Gotta love it. But no, Odd is actually a character who, as a kid, is he's just a guy growing up, trying to find love, and honestly, trying to kind of find his place in the world. Where does he fit in? What does he do? That sort of thing. And I think Odd is underrated, in terms of, just who he is as a character. And I you could do a lot in terms of character study for Odd, but yeah.
I think the idea that Odd is bi is more of a extrapolation of who he is as a character. Because I would honestly argue that Odd very much does not realize it, and he probably, and if anything, he subconsciously is suppressing it because of the cultural pressure. Because keep in mind the time when when the show takes place, being bi as a guy at least was not quite as favorable as being bi as a girl, but that's a whole nother debate about sexism.
Yeah.
So he's
sorry, go ahead.
So he's subconsciously at the very least suppressing that part of him. So that's why we don't ever see Odd dating guys too. It's just he's not realizing it, and he might be internally suppressing it.
Yeah, personally, I had canon Odd as pan, but yeah. I will say though, in terms of backtracking again, in terms of I feel like the original series would have done. Honestly, I kind of see the original series if I were the original Code Lyoko playing out Laura's arc and evolution, I could see them kind of going the route of she kind of becomes friends with them. I could see mostly Odd and William. William especially, really hammer in on William with Laura. And eventually, But eventually you have some sort of betrayal that leads her to come out of the group. Now, we don't know what an Evolution Season 2 would have looked like, but maybe if it meant eventually coming back to the group or not, we don't know. But I imagine that with the original show doing Laura, the aspect of the daily life and like Caddick and doing more of the slice of life stuff would have greatly benefited her, and I feel like would have led to more of an actual character, someone that I still think the fandom would have had mixed opinions on. I don't think everybody would have liked her still, but I feel like the fandom would have more mixed opinions on Laura if she were written with more slice of life stuff and more of, I guess, being more human than I'm just a mean person who is only logical and mean. Like, go into this girl who's a new student who wants to make friends. Go into her ego conflicting with that, and like maybe she wants to be, because I still don't see her romantically going after Jeremy, like genuinely, but like maybe with trying to in her way to try and befriend Jeremy and possibly impress him, that ego can come in the way and be like, wow, you're kind of a jerk, and Laura being like, no, that's not what I meant, like as a character, like as growing a character. I guess I just would have really hammered in on that aspect of I'm a kid who is a little too much, but I'm also a kid who is very lonely. That's at least where I would have gone. But I don't know.
What episode did you guys finish with?
22.
Mutiny.
Last
4 tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've just been going in now, and it's been fun.
Ooh. You made it fancy, Flower. I see.
Oh, okay, so you finished with Mutiny.
Yeah, so we're in the after show right now, just talking.
This was when the episodes were being released. I was part of a server called Lyoko. It wasn't a server's website. Lyoko Evolved. We were discussing it after this particular episode dropped, and we kind of noted that Laura's arc was played like a fan fiction. You ever have those fan fictions where this random student will show up?
We've literally brought it up like every rewatch after show.
About this.
We've brought it up every rewatch. So
Not every rewatch.
No,
but it's
I don't recall. I recall Fairy Odd Parents, but
no, that's what we kind of thought that Laura was. We also kind of noted that Laura's behavior in this particular episode is something that they clearly, exhibited back in like season 1, season 2. More so season 1. Any means necessary. They had that certain way in the season 2, but they kept, Aelita out.
Any means necessary was with regards to stopping Xana and saving Aelita.
Yes.
Implying Laura is applying the same logical sense of any means necessary is different. Laura, so season 1's any means necessary is sort of the train analogy, where there's this odd there's a third rail with nobody tied down to it, but you have to do, but it's the hardest and most difficult path to switch the train onto.
You're blundering it a little bit, but the context here is that you have a train that's on a runaway, and you could potentially get it's gonna crash unless you kick off the fattest person and let them. That should stop the train. So you can kick off the fat person to stop the train and save everybody, or you can all die. What's your choice?
That's not the train analogy. The train analogy is you have a runaway train coming down a track, and you're at the switch, and you can either switch it to kill one person, and usually this person is very specifically someone very close to you, which is what creates the dilemma. Yeah, the trolley problem. Thank you. That's what it is. The trolley problem. Do you know what I mean now, Flower?
I think we just it's a problem that's been talked about so much that there's different variants of it, and we're just
Hold on.
thinking of two different variants.
So the trolley problem is you have a runaway trolley, and on one track, and you're at the switch, and on one track is one person, but this person's very close to you generally, or it's someone important to you, and then on the other track is a bunch of people, but you're generally unaffiliated to these people. So basically, you either have the option to sacrifice the many to save the few, or sacrifice the few to save the many.
Here, I have it pulled up on Wikipedia. You ready? There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. Ahead on the tracks, there are 5 people tied up and unable to move. The trolley is headed straight for them. You are standing some distance off in the train. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice that there is one person on the side track. You have 2 options. 1, do nothing and allow the trolley to kill the 5 people on the main track. 2, pull the lever, diverting the trolley onto the side track where it will kill 1 person. Which is the more ethical option, or more simply, what is the right thing to do?
But the usual logical interpretation is
That one person is somebody you care about.
Yes, which is what introduces it as a dilemma. Because the obvious, if all 6 individuals are unaffiliated to you, the obvious answer is to kill the one person.
Well, the thing is, when you're pulling the lever, you are doing something that would kill that one person, where otherwise, if you do nothing, that one person would not die. The trolley's already moving, so if the trolley whams the 5 people, then that's not on you. But if you pull the lever, that one person is on you.
Okay, but so essentially, the by any means necessary of the original first 2 seasons is there's a 3rd track, but it's extremely difficult to switch to that track. So the warriors do anything, whatever is required of them to get to this track, in a sense, so that they can both save Aelita and everybody else in humanity, in a sense. Laura's is very much different from this, because there's still just the 2 tracks. There's just 2 tracks. There's no 3rd track where everything comes out okay.
There's it's weird because you can't just apply the trolley problem directly, because it's a chance. It's not like this train is barreling directly towards Aelita's mother, and it's not like you have a train that's Xana that's wrecking towards a bunch of people and then choosing to take it out on Thea. We all said before, and Thea will be fine. Aelita, the dilemma is Aelita won't be able to talk to her anymore, which is kind of silly, but that's the way evolution's written.
I mean, the thing is it's already been established. Aelita's not going to get really many opportunities to talk to her mother at this point. Tyrone's totally in on what's going on now. You think Tyrone's going to let Anthea sit by the computer unsupervised now? No, fuck no. Yeah, Tyrone's terribly written, but come on. Anyone with half a brain cell would if Tyrone was written a little better, no way in hell would he ever let Anthea talk to Aelita again.
Oh, you haven't finished yet. I won't.
No, he has not finished the season yet, so they don't know what's coming.
We'll have a slightly different conversation when we end this.
It'll be different.
Let me guess. Tyrone totally just lets them have another conversation.
We'll talk later.
You will
There's
find
no
out
war in bossing
when you watch the season
Lyoko.
finale.
There's no war in bossing Lyoko.
You will find out the season finale.
Beautiful.
I don't get the busing part.
There is no war in bossing say. Oh, you haven't watched Avatar, have you?
No.
You should.
Who hasn't watched Avatar?
Black Shadow hasn't watched Avatar.
For shame.
I have seen the show memes, but I've not seen the show itself.
I'd argue it's better than Lyoko. I like Lyoko
Code
It
Lyoko is a
is.
cult classic.
No
Let,
shit,
let me put
Sherlock.
it this way: Code Lyoko is a cult classic because it is a decent show with a lot of underutilized potential. Can you stop that, speakers?
Show. I wouldn't just say it's
Avatar:
decent.
The Last Airbender is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Avatar is definitely better than Kolyoko, plot-wise, story-wise,
No,
writing-wise.
it's much tighter production-wise.
Yeah.
Just everything, really.
I love
The Kolyoko is my favorite show, but Avatar is still like it's just above it for me.
Avatar pretty much defined what could be done for TV animation, for serialized TV animation for kids. Like it is a
wanted to be. I mean, I know they have two completely different plots. Like they're not like I know Kolyoko isn't about the last of his kind trying to save the world.
yeah,
But, you know,
No,
I haven't played any of the Last of Us. Shut up.
serialized. It got to be a serialized show that told a story that appealed to both kids and adults, while Kolyoko had to force itself to be episodic and like tone down what the creators intended.
I definitely think Kolyoko has what it takes to become a show like Avatar, though.
Me too.
Writing writing needs a huge leveling up, but I definitely think Kolyoko
I wouldn't even
has
argue.
a chance to compete.
Don't spoil book 3. No, we won't. Don't worry.
No, we can just drop Avatar now, to be honest. But I just wanted to say it's Kolyoko's a show that could definitely compete, can be just as great as Avatar.
What makes Kolyoko, I think, why the fan base is here. And someone asked on Reddit, like, why do people still want Kolyoko? Hey, wasn't Echoes a good ending? It's just Kolyoko has potential to be better than it
I wouldn't
is.
really even argue. Echoes isn't really the best ending. It leaves too much
It's
on the
bittersweet.
table.
I still like it.
Echoes is not bad. The problem is calling it an ending is kind of disingenuous because it doesn't close. It closes very few plots. Echoes doesn't
didn't have the budget to
be an
continue,
ending.
so they had to just end it.
Evolution works. Evolution works as a continuation because they didn't close enough plots.
I actually read something of why it didn't continue. I had to look for it.
Echoes doesn't close up enough plot threads.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And
But
that's why Evo can just pick up on these plot threads and keep going with them.
no, they just made more. But they wanted to do a 5th season. They just things.
Are you saying Nightmare? Are you saying how would I write the ending if I were to end it after Evolution?
I don't want to get into this.
Because that's what we're doing, so I'm not going to say anything about that. If you want to say how would I have ended the original 4th season, I can tell you that.
Crap. Let me find it here.
Do you want how?
Okay, so season 5 was out of time due to a lack of negotiations with channels with France 3 and Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network was like, we're done with the show.
But before that, negotiation was it did so well airing on Cartoon Network that they wanted to buy it. And Moonscoop was like, no, not going to happen. And the Cartoon Network just like, okay, we'll just stop airing them, post the rest online, and that'll be it of Kolyoko.
The story we heard was that the guy who ran Maguzi saw it during season 4. Like, I don't like it. And then he kicked it to, did some executive meddling and then kicked it to the website.
No.
The last few episodes.
That's kind of that's childish. I
The guy who ran Maguzi, quote unquote, always hated Code Lyoko. Like, he has gone on record saying this. However, he has also stated that he had nothing to do with it getting off the air. Cam Stores,
Yeah.
actually, at least
Yeah.
as far as we know, is right.
I can understand, like, there's gonna be people who hate shows that do well and make the companies money, but I don't think I don't know. That just sounds a bit too much to me.
You can hate a show, but if it's making you money, you're not going to cancel it.
Yeah, but I was looking into it, and what was it? Yeah. So yeah, it did really. I was just doing research and found out that it did really, really well airing on Cartoon Network, which is weird because I felt like it was never on a lot when it was airing when I was a kid. But it did really well, and that's why they tried purchasing Kolyoko.
There's a reason everyone remembers it.
I can totally see.
I could not find a person who I showed the show to, and they'd be like, "Oh,
for me,
actually, I have. I know a lot of people who don't know the show.
Oh, me too. I only know a couple people who I work with that remember it. 2 people that I've worked at all my jobs remembers Kolyoko.
Everyone
and
who
then
went
there's
to
2
college
people.
with remembers it. All my friend group.
My
everyone
entire middle
remembers
school.
That's great, Dylan.
So
And my
I'm just
high
saying,
school.
not a lot of
different ends of the
people.
spectrum, Cam.
That's fine.
Circling back, to
You're not
what
the only one
Eric
here.
had said, how I would have finished the series is I would have done a setup for a 5th season, but I would have said, okay, we're done with these specific plot threads. Friends and Aelita's relationship would not be done. That would be a plot thread carried into season 5. Season 5 would further go on with that, except now it's a dichotomy between Aelita, as sort of the last living member of her family, not realizing Anthea's still alive, and Friends being dead. That would be the dichotomy there. A plot thread I would close, Oric and Yumi. That plot thread would not stay the fuck open because everyone knows how I feel about that. I don't need to explain myself here.
Hold up.
What?
Do you plan to bring William back? Would you, in your hypothetical?
William would
back?
be presented as an outsider, but there would be sort of a hopeful sense that he would get to be back in the group. No, yeah, William isn't done. William would actually get a full character exploration in a season 5 if I were to figure it. Odd would remedy a relation. Odd and Jim would have a very interesting sort of Odd and Jim would make up the B plot for Echoes in this one, rather than Sissy being the one who makes up the B plot. And then they shut the computer down. The final scene where the computer seals itself shut, instead of just having it seal itself shut and then they go to the thing where all the warriors in their form wave and everything, it would the screen would fade to black from the computer shutting, like the lights in the room would dim, and then the screen would fade to black, and at the just before it goes to credit roll, you hear the Xana growl, and then that's how you end it. Sets yourself up for season 5, but doesn't give away too much.
I should say, when you guys were talking about how the show got kicked from Cartoon Network, the show was being uploaded to the website, all the episodes, and then when it finished with Echoes, they had a thing that says some stories are worth repeating, and they went back to episode 1.
So the thing is the reason Cartoon Network couldn't just not present the episodes is the contract where they agreed to air them dictates that they air all of the episodes. They uploaded them to the website because that was a loophole method to avoid actually having to air them without violating the contract.
They were that pissed, and it was great because they couldn't buy the show. And I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think Cartoon Network, because that was the time period where Cartoon Network let the artists create in a sense.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This was mid 2000. I think this might have been around the time when they were starting to push live action, but I don't have research in my head, so it's possible.
Yeah, do you think Cartoon Network would have given us
it was
this level of badness in an evolution type scenario?
No, because if Cartoon Network bought it, that means there'd be a whole new team behind.
Hey, I'm actually really thankful that Cartoon Network didn't get to buy the rights to Kolyoko. Because
Kolyoko is unique, and I think part of that is because it's a French cartoon made by a
don't
French
trust Americans. Don't trust us.
I'm not anti-American or anything. I just I mean it's a very international
interesting position to take when you live in America. I hate America.
I don't hate American shows. There's some shows that, the culture that the people who worked on it, who lived in, influences the show. So, I think someone who took Lyoko and, really took some time to study French culture and tried to emulate the best they could, I think that's fine for, an American company were to take over and either continue it or do whatever with it. But if Cartoon Network were to just take Kolyoko off of Moonscoop's hands right in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, we might have gotten something different.
Worse. Yeah, it would have been
good. It's a toss-up, honestly. It would have been different. It would have been probably would have been banned just because people are like, it's different, so it's bad. Kind of like
it's a
what
show
Evolution
that
was like.
It's not like it's Ed, and Eddie or it's not a show. It's not an episodic. I mean, obviously except for this first season, and that's something they could have done with it, I guess. But there's only so much you can do with episodic for Kolyoko, and since it's a continuation series, they have to know the lore. So having what Flower said, having a different staff and everyone working on a continuation. If Network owned it, it would be very different.
Gadget brings up a good point, though. If Code Lyoko were owned by Cartoon Network around today, would have seen Code Lyoko virtualization, and now I'm disappointed because
we would have.
That's what I'm saying.
Wazy could be writing Code Lyoko official content, and Cartoon and Moonscoop robbed him of it by not selling it to Cartoon Network.
Exactly. I could be writing real Code Lyoko and write garbage like Code Lyoko virtualization in Cartoon Network because Cartoon Network couldn't buy it. I just can't believe it. I can't. I can't.
Smart for Moonscoop to not give Cartoon Network one of their most successful shows.
Yeah, it was. What Cartoon Network should have done is they should have acquired Moonscoop itself. I mean, they had the money at the time.
Cartoon Network that's just bought out the studio.
I don't know about that.
The late 2000s decade. Oh, Cartoon Network was rolling in fucking money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess Code Lyoko wasn't worth it enough to buy a whole studio, but
but then you don't have to hire a whole new team to animate your show. You can just get the original.
Cartoon Network would have to start. I think Cartoon Network was already dealing with the international market, but that's you really have to. That's getting into the international market.
They could have done pretty well on the international market.
Maybe it's all speculation. To really get a good idea, you'd have to see who was on staff at the time, who would be in charge of the show.
If they wanted to do well on the international market, all they'd have to do is hire whoever was in charge of Dragon Ball Z.
God.
Akira Toriyama.
That show did so well in so many countries.
I gotta admit.
There are people who think Code Lyoko is a Cartoon Network show. They're out there. Because
They're out there.
you know all those petitions to Cartoon Network to be like, bring back Code Lyoko.
Yeah.
Just like, buddy,
Cartoon Network's just sitting here like, we tried. They wouldn't let us buy it.
Hold up. No. My petition was different. I knew Moonscoop owned the show. I was trying to get them to air Evolution, and that was honestly a terrible decision looking back at it. But
better than like demanding
Yeah.
that there's like the petition to like, hey, there's still like people were posting like to Moonscoop after Moonscoop went under. I'm just like, buddy, you're barking under the wrong tree. And I remember at the time, I actually, for some reason, I thought Flash Entertainment owned Code Lyoko. I don't remember why. Maybe it was just some misinformation going around at the time. I know now it was the
Flash was Moonscoop.
Yeah.
Flash
Over
Entertainment
here.
was
Yeah.
Moonscoop.
For
They
the
changed
US,
names.
yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like,
who
these
would
they
be
died.
who made like Norm of the North, like maybe because I thought they were
Yeah.
a new company that got some of the asset, like some of the shows. Because I saw Hero 108, and that was another big Moonscoop show. So I'm like,
No.
these people almost made Norm of the North. Maybe they shouldn't be dealing with Code Lyoko. Can you just imagine a Code Lyoko same quality of Norm of the North?
Yes. Yes, I want that. I want that.
Are you talking about, wait, isn't that just Linker's secret codes?
No.
Norm of the North.
I'm just being funny. I'm just being
You have like the warriors just are all like on social media and they're twerking and like all the very low bro.
Give me the pain. Give me the pain.
I'd watch it more out of morbid curiosity than anything else.
I would watch every episode. Every single one so I could die a little inside.
We'd all watch together on stream. We'd all
Yes.
suffer together.
Yes.
We'd all be like,
suffering right now.
it would be like it'll like something like that. It would do what like the new Disney Star Wars movies did to the prequels. Everyone's like, you know what? That thing we used to hate, it really wasn't as bad as we thought it was.
Pretty much. Oh my god. But no, actually, have you guys heard the rumor? Okay, for those of you who are back in the Lyoko community a lot, back in the back pre-evolution, there was a rumor, a huge rumor, that Nickelodeon was actually interested in airing Code Lyoko and Code Lyoko Evolution, but their condition was that Nickelodeon wanted to redo it, but like with their own like cast and shit. So like for Evolution.
They wanted to retcon the canon, essentially.
Not necessarily retcon,
No,
but
no.
reshoot Evolution with their own like staff and cast. So they'd still have the
Gotcha.
script. There would
Get
just be,
fucking Miranda Cosgrove as Aelita.
Oh god. No!
No, hold on.
Good thing that they didn't do that.
No, Miranda Cosgrove would make a great Aelita. If you
Oh
can't
my
convince
God.
me
Yumi, more like
I
Yumi.
can buy that. iCarly being Aelita. That would be that's like as trippy as like the unaired pilot of Full House that had like a different actor as Danny. Because that exists. Where it's just like it's an alternate universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I
wait, no. So Miranda Cosgrove
so weird.
as who would be Jeremy? Oh no.
Freddy.
William would be played by Drake Bell. William would be played by Drake Bell.
What?
Oh my god. No, he would be too old at the
Bell would be
time. He would
old.
be too old. Yeah, he would have been
Alright, fine.
Nah, he would have been too old. Get Nathan Kress as because he was
And William would be
work
Jerry's
out back
trainer.
then and stuff like that. I can believe it. So Nathan Kress is Ulrich.
Actually, you know what? Maybe Miranda Cosgrove should be.
Justice is you. No.
Miranda, I can see
has
you
to
being
be
Miranda.
Yumi has to be
honestly.
played by someone Asian.
Yeah.
Jerry Traynor is William.
Oh my god.
That's so weird.
Who'd play Jim? Who'd play Jim?
Oh, that would be Jerry. That should be Jerry.
No, you know the guy who played Walter in Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude.
That's Jim.
Yes, that's Jim. Who's Delboss? Who's Delboss? The principal from iCarly? Who played the principal in iCarly?
That's Benjamin. No, unless.
Yeah. God.
Or okay, no, not the
You know where I'm going.
principal.
Yeah, no.
Let's see.
Mr. Howard. Delmas is played by Mr. Howard's actor.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh god.
Who's that?
David St. James is Mr. Delmas.
Nope.
Nah, I feel like Victoria Justice could do this.
You know what?
Honestly.
I can see that.
And we get Sam to play Sam.
No. Same problem. No, but then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
No, she actually has the Sam vibe, like the original Sam vibe, though.
Yeah,
she doesn't look the part, but
Sure.
I'm trying to think of characters.
Odd.
Who would play Odd? Who would play Odd?
Gibby?
No.
Oh,
No.
You were all so sure on that.
This is so cursed. Like, everything about this is cursed.
I know. This is your fault, Weezy. This is all your
Yeah, it really is. It really is. This is just a rumor. No idea if it's true, but it got a
Man, freaking these after shows, man. Very Odd Parents, Zoo Pals, and now this.
Is it as cursed as the idea of you make Code Lyoko, but Earth is animated, Lyoko is through live action? I can't even say it.
Disgusting.
I got it. Jerry
The real
Traynor.
world is live
You know who
action.
he plays? Jerry Traynor plays the part of Xana himself. Xana is a person that just chills at this school.
He's like the next Jim Carrey.
We get Jim Carrey to play Tyrone.
Oh my
Yes.
god. They can afford Jim Carrey.
No, I was just saying Jerry is
Jim
like
Carrey
Nickelodeon.
could capture the
Jim Carrey.
wacky scientist perfectly. He did it in Sonic. He'd be able to do it for Code Lyoko.
God.
I don't know.
This is super cursed.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming to sticking for the stream. another great after show.
Brings up the
It's always something different.
Nah, we will continue to make cursed content.
Wait, guys. Who would play Mrs. Hertz?
God. Okay. My first thought was the woman who played Mrs. Briggs, but nah.
I don't have one. I can't think of it.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone either. Wait, hold up.
It should be whoever.
It's Evolution.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
You go.
Evolution. So wouldn't they still be doing young Hertz or?
Yeah, I was thinking of young Hertz for a second. Like,
I mean,
mom.
This depends on whether they want who would play her? What's the most Drake and Josh's mom?
Oh,
That's what I was thinking for young Hertz.
I hate how I can see it. Actually,
No, that's literally what I thought. That's literally what I thought for them doing old Hertz. I can't think of anyone for old Hertz. It's gotta be somebody. What about, hold up, Peter Duncan?
Okay, I changed my mind. Jerry Trainer. Jerry Trainer after Peter Duncan. I don't care.
Oh my god.
Peter Duncan is rebooted into Jerry Trainer. He
That's
wears
better.
a bald cap. There we go.
We could have Nicholas is played by Neville.
God, I hate you.
Who plays that?
Neville.
Right.
Reed Alexander.
No, I mean like the Neville is who?
Actually, no.
Herb.
No one
Oh.
could actually do Nicholas. Gibby. Gibby could do Nicholas, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nicholas.
Sorry.
If you open up your mind.
Give me this.
Dina Dill could be Yolanda. That's Gibby's mom.
Josh Peck as Mr. Fouvet?
Yes. Or the Italian teacher, whoever fuck he is.
Oh my god.
Who needs to be Rosa?
Mrs. Briggs' actress.
No. Rosa is played by Mary Shear in a fat
Who?
suit.
Who?
Nathan Freddy's mom.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
In a fat suit though. Like it has to be a fat suit.
Yeah, I can see that. Cursed code Leon. You know what?
This is the only way to make evolution good.
God.
I hate to agree.
God.
Okay, I'm gonna, just because it occurred to me, because I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but the stream's kind of frozen on this image of the episode of like Sissy's like, I wanted to do some shopping. I'm like,
Wait,
know,
it's frozen on that image?
I want to
Not
do
for
some
me.
shopping. Come on, it'll be fun. You'll see. It might just be me then, because it's,
Did you refresh it?
buffering
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
frozen. Don't you think it's weird? Only 3 crabs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see your mouse moving.
Well, okay. Anyway, I was gonna say, I think it would have been cool if we got to see the Warriors shopping. We don't even get to see them in like the original, but I think it would be really cool if there was a scene with Aelita and Yumi and Sissy just all shopping together. Like,
Yeah, they don't ever go outside of Caddock, really. And that's something that Chronicles did, though.
Chronicles. That's because
You don't
I like that. I like
don't
that.
have to draw the backgrounds or build the sets. That's
Yes.
why Chronicles did it. Because Chronicles. could-
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chronicles went to the
I like the idea, though,
Heritage,
of
the
different
fact-
settings outside of Caddock. I
The
think it would be
train,
cool.
the train station literally gets used once. Like
Yeah.
they have their one-off background sets. They're not gonna because doing a shopping trip is gonna be more than a background tile. The train station was 2 background sets, maybe 3, I think, at most.
I would also agree if it wouldn't be. They wouldn't go shopping all the time. It would just be like a 1 or 2 time thing that happens in the whole series.
Yeah, but it'd still be like 10 background tiles at minimum to do.
Probably, yeah.
I
to do
still
the
think
episode.
a mall would be a cool location for an attack to happen.
Oh, geez, yeah.
I mean, there's a reason. There's the reason you have like the 5-6 background sets for the pool is because they use the pool multiple times.
Yeah.
So, their willingness to draw a lot of background sets for an area was based on how often they use it. The factory has a butt ton of them because they use the factory a butt ton.
There's this one scene in Holiday in the Fog. It's just literally just Oryx there with the tutor. But I'm like, that background is kind of amazing. And it's not like, it's not immediately amazing. It's just like literally just somebody's house. That's literally all it is. But it's like super. I really like it.
It has a lot
it's
of
like
detail.
we see it once. Yes. It's just this one-off background that you never see again.
Yeah, what episode is that?
It
That's
was the
Holiday
third
in the
episode.
Fog. Yeah,
Oh,
The
wait.
number. I need the number, people.
Hold up.
Wait, no. Yeah, 3 is
Hmm?
Holiday in the Fog. 4 is Logbook.
Oh, okay. Okay, we were all right. Hold on, no, we gotta go back.
Yeah, you gotta go back a bit.
So hold on, they use.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
They use,
Oh, there's like a couple.
They use one.
A couple of them.
This chalkboard is just a chalkboard thing. So one.
They probably could have gotten away with reusing the class.
3,
Yeah.
4, 5, and then that's a reuse. That's a reuse. So 5 backgrounds for the singular episode. They could have very well intended, but this is also so early in the show. They might have thought they might be.
They used the airport twice, I believe, as well.
Airport in this episode and in Distant Memory. Yeah. Like, so both these episodes are like all the warriors are going off on vacation. That's basically what both of those episodes are.
Except Jeremy, because of course.
Well, Jeremy makes an excuse.
Yeah, they're pretty much very similar.
And Distant Memory is so for later into the series. Like, there's this big gap.
Yeah.
Also,
I like how her dad just lets her leave.
Oh yeah, he's like,
She kind of does what Org does in Distant Memory, but Distant Memory is easier because they were already in traffic.
Look, guys, you know how Yumi has a brother, right? Where's the brother?
No.
Off somewhere else. He would have been in on this trip.
No, I don't really feel like
He couldn't have stayed home because he needs to be babysat, but they're just like, we don't want to deal with Hiroki. Hiroki doesn't want to go. We're just gonna have him be watched by somebody else
I
for a
think
bit.
Hiroki probably is at a
my
boarding
assumption.
school or something. No, the most logical explanation is in the first season, he's at a boarding school. And then the second season, he's going to be going to Caddick, so he doesn't have to. Be at the boarding school anymore.
Going to Caddick in the second season too. He doesn't go to Caddick until season 3. So it's, I mean, it's
Transition
possible he was
period?
homeschooled. Yeah, but that's a long time. Unless he got kicked out, but you'd think you'd see some drama if that's what happened. I mean, we all know that it was because the writers Hiroki straight up didn't exist in season 1, and then they're like, "Oh, Yumi should have a brother," so he existed in season 2. But
I think
it's possible he was staying in Japan with like family. Maybe you're right. He was at a boarding school in Japan or something, and then stuff happened. They're like, "No, he needs to go back and see his parents," so he moves back in.
it's also entirely possible Hiroki is a concoction of the Return to the Past. He just spontaneously began existing. Nobody questioned.
We're not doing this again.
Hiroki exists because of a glitch in the Return to the Past that dragged him out of an alternate universe. And everyone just accepts his existence.
Okay.
All right.
Just okay.
All right, but it is time to end the stream for today. We will be back again tomorrow for the grand finale of Code Lyoko.
4 episodes.
Finally, our suffering can end.
Oh, that's a good. That's actually a good plot. Gadget, living in Japan with his grandparents,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
and then they couldn't afford for him to come, so he stayed until they could afford to ship. Yeah, because I imagine cross country flying is not cheap, especially when you have a whole family and you're literally moving. So, man, that must have been a sucky like family discussion. Yeah, Hiroki. No, it's like Yumi or Hiroki. One of you has to stay behind. That's one of those.
They were waiting for Hiroki to get those sweet scholarships to those nice French academies. All right, but no, we gotta dip now. So bye bye everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
See ya.